and we should be going.
And here we are with Oasis Valley Mysteries. The Spiteful Sands art, I guess is what I should have been calling it, but I don't think I ever saw that on camera until now. But last time, the group recovered and regrouped after learning more and doing a lot of research, while also having various encounters with bikers. Not all of them peaceful.
Yeah.
After preventing the escape of another biker and giving him advanced glaucoma, the group mainly stuck around the preserve as Carlos and eventually Winifred, joining him, worked on. Oh, jeez. The elote salesman's driving by, so I just all of a sudden heard a bike horn.
I was wondering.
Sorry,
Um,
that's my wife.
I was wondering what the clown sounded.
Yeah, I was just saying,
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, that's my wife.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. My wife.
Clowns.
No, it's they. I guess you're not allowed to use a jingle thing like a ice cream truck because then you'll be mistaken for an ice cream truck. So they just use the.
The bike.
I just use a clown mating call. I understand.
With that distraction, yeah, it's currently 92, so I have the window open, hoping for a breeze. So that's why you'll sometimes hear cars go by
Mhm.
Fair.
as a warning.
Absolutely.
It's all right.
Um,
I don't mind hearing clown mating calls. It's fine.
no, those ones go awooga. Anyways,
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
anyways,
Peter,
we're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fantastic.
No, it's fine. So the group Hanzo is called. Well, went to check in with Dar and turn in some of the Epiphany recovered, and managed to look up, taking a while, through the records of who the Ica was. Turns out that was the middle name of a biosynthesis chemist, a Dr. Damian Porter, and as also according to records has been missing or not, has been calling in sick the last few days, and joined by Olivia and Fred, went to go check his apartment, discovered that it had been first emptied out by Damien himself, and then kicked in and ransacked or tossed by the bikers, but managing to discover, hidden from the bikers, a secret stat or compartment in the fridge showed that this was where Damien was eating and storing the Epiphany. We left off with Hanzo going to call Detective Bentley as the other group decided to follow up on a lead from Itzel, who suggested that the Hell Coyotes would sometimes use the Riverless Casino, a swamp paddle boat that has been mysteriously stuck in the middle of an empty field. As long as anyone can remember, that is a part-time casino during the winter months. And as the group arrived, they happened to see a dust storm begin to engulf the casino itself, as they saw the burning-eyed and still bleeding from his gunshot wounds Soda. What was his last name? You saw
Karada, I
Soda, the
believe.
victim, Karada, and the invoker of the Kasha look back to you before walking into the casino itself. And Connor, you get to decide who you went with. Because otherwise we were just saying you're just kind of hanging out in the background.
We're being weekend at Burnede.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
there were a couple times we said you were a cardboard cutout, just kind of shuffling along with everybody.
That's fair. I'm very in character.
I'd expect you to do the same if I was here.
And I don't know, probably just start following Hanzo because Hanzo's the only one who seems to know how to get shit rolling.
So
at the
you'd
moment.
be with Hanzo, Olivia, and Fred as you were checking in at the address of Doctor, which also while there, Hanzo discovered a note listing a safe house E, located not far from Henry Barrett's farm, the unfortunate farmer that you encountered the chupacabras devouring not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Man, I wish I remembered what my original plan was for calling Detective Bentley.
I should have messaged you about that to make sure you're ready. Whoops. I mean, we could start with the others if you want to think about it.
Sure, yeah.
So that would be Carlos, Tommy, and Winifred.
I think so.
Is there anyone else? Yeah. So it is the three of you
Mhm.
heading to check out the Riverless Casino. And you had just pulled up in the car as you see this dust storm engulfing the casino.
Jennifer just kind of looks blankly out the window and goes, "A fucking curse.
Yep.
What else would it be?"
And you do see what looks to be a few, like, two bikes that you can see from here. Like, one of them's on its side and the other one's, actually upright, but you're not sure how many are here.
You know, the real question is how long before it becomes a fire risk of that place just lighting up?
Oh, you're gonna speak things into existence, Tommy.
To be fair, I'm gonna guess like 10 minutes tops before half of it's on fire. Like we're gonna get in there to start rescuing them. It'll be just an inferno of fire. Because that dude in the storm cloud stared us down before fucking off.
I suppose we better go then. I don't really want to rescue these fuckers. They suck.
Yeah. Especially having to go into a burning building.
Are you sure we just can't watch this? She's looking at the two of you like she's looking for a moral compass right now.
Tommy is not going
Look.
to be that moral compass.
Look,
Is there anyone else
I
in
am
the
I have a
building?
moral compass. Fuck.
Just
Look,
Connor
I don't like
shrugs
I
his-
don't
says,
I don't want to.
Connor, you're with us.
I don't remember now.
You went with
You
Hanzo.
weren't there last session. We tried to get a
know.
hold of you.
You went with
You said
yeah,
you
you were with
followed
the other
Hanzo.
group.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. Okay.
You can switch, I guess.
Nah, it's fine.
I don't know
Commit.
if- I don't know if Connor would be a
Commit.
moral compass either.
No, I don't. His only concern was like, is there anyone else in there? If not, then sit back and watch.
But it's bad if we just let this thing consume their souls.
So
Is it though?
we run the risk. We run the risk of the gambit if we let this go on. That we only have one coyote left theoretically alive, and if he dies, the kid's soul's damned too.
Alright.
Hey guys, quick question. Am I in this scene?
No,
You're with
Okay.
No,
Yeah, with the cinder block.
this
Oh,
is
that's just
right
me.
now. It's just three: Carlos, Tommy, and Winifred.
Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to make sure. But like the longer I went, it's like, wait, should I be interacting? Am I here? I should
Yeah.
check.
that's
You're
fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
nice.
and also just a reminder that just for the that that are still marked and still alive, there is Felix the leader. There's Texas that is in your custody. There's Ginger and a guy named Ricky.
And we see two motorcycles.
Two bikes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 of our 3 are in here, allegedly assuming that someone else hasn't died or properly fucked off. And in any case, we don't have all the supplies or people needed to seal it here. So let's go save some dumb bikers from a burning riverboat.
alright.
Fine.
They shoot at me,
Hey.
I'm just leaving.
Yeah.
I've had enough of that. And we go towards
We have. Here's the thing: we are morally obligated to at least try. If they kill themselves, they kill themselves.
Okay, so this would be the perfect time for read a bad situation because you're rushing into a bad situation.
Oh boy!
Oh boy, oh boy.
Let me get the dice roller
Get out
out.
of here, Mickey. Gonna call the exterminator.
It's one of my marked things.
Wait, Mickey Mouse is here. I gotta kill that fucking rat for trying to kill Maleficent.
That is a 10 because of my plus
Oh,
two.
how the tower, the statue caught fire.
Yeah, where Mickey Mouse shot fireworks and Maleficent and burned her alive. That son of a bitch will pay for trying to immolate my wife.
So I got an 8,
I got 7.
Okay.
and I mark an experience.
Yeah.
So right.
7, 8, 10. Okay, so 10 you get a hold of 3. 7 through 9 you get a hold of 1. So best way in, best way out. Any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
Okay, I'm gonna go first if that's okay with you two.
Good for
Mhm.
me.
Hi.
Any dangers we haven't noticed yet?
Okay, so as you're approaching the boat, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not like you have to climb up into the boat. They actually have like a porch built onto the boat so that you could just walk up into it like the main entrance. And you go up to it as you see like the door is swung open. You had to get pushed through the sand because the sandstorm is completely engulfing the area. And it would have stretched out to your car by this point because it's just growing in intensity. But as you approach, Tommy, this isn't the first time you've had to go into places where you're not sure if it's safe, so you know to like look out for things, and you actually do see what looks to be like a tripwire across the front door, and then actually another one a little bit further in.
Okay,
You're
Tommy's
not sure if
going
they're connected to anything, but you see these wires.
Tommy's
you're-
going to hold out his hands to stop Carlos and Winifred and just point to the tripwires.
Oh, of course. So, if Carlos wants to go,
So you know there seems to be at least some kind of traps.
If you would like to go first, Carlos, you are welcome to. I have a lot of questions to ask, so.
Yes.
And if you have a specific question that none of the options do, you can always ask.
That's
It'll just
fair.
be whether or not I can answer it.
Just give me 1 second. I'm contemplating, since I have the one, what's the best one to ask? And not totally trying to pull up my cheat sheet. That's why I keep a cheat sheet. Shit's important.
Is it a cheat sheet if it's just the rules?
It is labeled as a cheat sheet.
Oh, you want the? Did you need the options again? I have the reference sheet up.
I have it right here. Reference sheet
I
consolidation.
use-
Listen,
I use
if
the
you go
reference
into a
sheet
math test,
Way more than the actual.
if you go into a math test with a sheet that says a quadratic formula, yeah, that's just the rules, but that's a cheat sheet.
I guess we should trust the teacher on this one.
I'm gonna go with what's the best way in, because we found that there's tripwires through the front door.
Okay. So, you see that the windows, some of them are open. You glance at it, and it looks like there's really no traps across them or tripwires. But you stick your head in through one of the windows, and you can see that, the tripwire across the door. There is what looks to be straight up a grenade attached to it. When Soda walked in, didn't seem to trigger it, but it only seemed like maybe this front area you look past, and it seems that they mainly focused on trying to get the entrance booby trapped, but you're pretty sure you can see like a way to walk through it without setting it off.
Fantastic. Carlos pokes his head in,
It's
seeing
like
that.
it's like the big entryway where it's like more like a reception area, and you see like gift shop off to the side. Then you see the actual casino further back.
Okay. So I pull my head in. So you're gonna follow my steps because they've somehow got live fucking grenades to
What the
stop
fuck?
things from going in.
And
These bikers.
These bikers are
a
assholes.
lot
Which,
of
I mean, they're
did
bikers.
gun running.
That's true. But I don't know any other bikers, so fuck these bikers.
So
She's the.
just follow my steps, and then we might spend a second disarming it in case if we need to get the hell out of Dodge, because I'm not going to frag my shins because I panicked.
Fair. So
Oh yes, Carlos, you would be holding on to the stuff for the ritual, right?
Yes,
Okay, I wasn't sure if you had split the stuff up yet,
not yet.
but you're just missing, the guy who can actually speak Japanese.
Yeah, Hanzo's not currently here right now. Please leave a message after the beep. So you have your 2 questions, Gav.
I've actually got 3, but I'm only going to use
3 actually.
I'm going to use 1 right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, with read about situation, you get 3. Yes,
Oh.
which one?
I'm only going to use 1 right now, and that is what's the best way to protect the victims, because I want the best way to protect these stupid bikers. And hopefully get out of here without blowing anybody up.
Okay, so are you all entering it following Carlos's lead?
Yes.
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 Okay. I would like an act under pressure, but because I keep forgetting this, because if you act on the answers, you get a +1 ongoing while the information is relevant. So following Carlos's lead, you would all get an extra +1 to this act under pressure.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Carlos.
Okay. Yes,
You're welcome.
thank you.
Yeah, I always forget that's that little caveat about read a bad situation.
I needed that because it pushed me into a 7 instead of a 6.
Yeah. The +1 ongoing.
Is it a +1 to both of the d6s rolled, or just one?
Oh no, it's you roll 2d6 plus cool and then plus that 1.
Oh,
That's a 9 for me.
It's
so
not a flat out miss, so.
so funny you mentioned a miss.
Mm,
I got a 3.
You're gonna blow yourself up. You're gonna get blown up.
So, so you did crawl in through the window, so you avoided the one that you definitely saw was a grenade. So, I gotta check something. This won't be too bad. I mean, things go to hell. That was a pretty low roll.
Yeah,
Wait, what's your bonus for cool?
See, my bonus for cool is a -1.
So is mine.
Hey,
I
high five.
have a flat 0. I just rolled an 8 up the day.
Okay, so okay. This is so funny that one of the most important things, and so many people have a negative in it.
I have a flat 0.
So, you're going in, and Winifred, you were saying, sorry, which one was your question? It was the
Protect the victims.
protect the victims? Okay. So you're going in and you're avoiding the tripwires stepping over them? and it's like they're strung up between some of the tables, and other stuff scattered around, and you do see what like stuff has been kicked aside and tossed because there's this now like layer of sand, and it is pretty hazy inside. Like, you know, it's impossible for a sandstorm to be inside with, but now there actually is. So it's fairly difficult to see as you're going along. But Winifred, you actually do see, thanks to your enhanced vampire vision, you see further along and actually closer to the casino floor, where you start hearing shouts of what sounds like a man and a woman shouting. You actually would recognize Ginger and Ricky as the voices.
My favorite ones.
And you see further, like closer to the casino floor, you actually see this wall panel that says fire suppression. You actually do see like now further glimpses of flame, like flickering flames, as there's also like gunfire starting to pop off as they seem to be reacting wildly. But as you start to make your way towards it, me, like
Yeah.
as you like put your hand down on this table to like walk along it, following everyone's footsteps, as you're stepping over a tripwire, a bullet actually ricochets right next to you, and as you flinch, you kind of take a step back and you trip on the wire.
Fuck!
What sounds like there's a click, and then not an explosion not the kind of explosion you're expecting, but a gunshot as you suddenly get a bullet in the back of your calf as there was a handgun set up underneath the table.
Oh, holy
And
shit!
You
Ow.
take see, what would that be? 2 harm.
Ugh.
Okay, it probably won't have any effect, but would armor do anything?
So, okay, so it'll. I was just using the normal pistol damage.
So then
So,
armor would take effect, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, good, I'm fine.
you tanked that, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, so you got grazed, but it didn't actually like do any serious damage. But it still stings.
Oh yeah. Fuck! My knee!
Oh shit, Tommy, Tommy, that's not your knee.
That's your calf.
That's your
Tommy.
calf.
Listen,
Tommy.
I'm a short man, okay?
Are you really actualing him right now when you just got shot?
And
Yes.
there's a burst of gunfire from inside.
I have a negative to my cool. Yes, I am. Alright, so I'm gonna go towards the fire suppression system while muttering under my breath, yeah, set up tripwires for the fucking dust storm.
They think it's a mortal, not a fucking magical bullshit thing.
No, they know it's magical bullshit.
You're not here.
They're not here.
And Fred's the only one who has the spiritual presence.
She's gonna look back at him and go, sorry dudes, this is gonna smell nasty, and she's gonna pull the fire suppression.
Tommy just pinches his nose.
Trying not to work near about it.
Yeah, you have to run up and smash the glass with your elbow and reach in, and there's a lever as you pull it, and like a few emergency lights start flashing, and it's kind of as that weird strobe to just like the glow of the sandstorm. But you see, it's not like a foam suppression, like it says, like you would expect from suppression, but it's actually there's a hiss, and then all of a sudden you are all drenched as water sprinklers in the ceiling pop out and start spraying. Most of the, like you see the casino, most of it is covered in like tarps, but there's definitely going to be some water damage after this. But this seems like you would know that these kind of things are meant for if there is a fire, if they expect it to really spread, because usually these kind of fires, like fire sprinklers, it's only one at a time will burst, not all of them all at once. But this is meant to stop it because it's an old boat, lots of dry wood in a desert.
And that water's going to smell absolutely terrible.
Oh, no
Mhm.
doubt. It's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
brown too.
So,
So
I'm curious.
used in the winter, so it's not.
So-
this place shouldn't be in the complete disrepair.
No, the
I am
water
curious
in a sprinkler
about-
system just sits there and is gross.
It's not potable water. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only way that a sprinkler system gets water into it and added out of it is by controlling certain valves. Learned this through work, thank you. So it's literally they pump it full of water and then they just let it sit. So if it's brown, it's not necessarily because the water's brown, it's because the iron pipes aren't as good as they used to
A
be.
little rusty.
Little
Yeah,
rusty.
Yeah.
in high school had something similar. We tested the chemical shower or whatnot, and that bitch was dark brown.
To be fair, that's a chemical shower. That shit
Mhm.
designed to wash shit away.
Anyway,
And sorry, speaking of high school, I know I tangent all the time,
no, it's
but one
Yeah.
time over summer break, and I only knew this happened because I was doing a school program. I can't even remember what it was during the summer, and there were these two girls that decided that as they were in summer school, decided while they were bored, go to the bathroom. Hey, let's pop off the sprinkler head. That looks cool. Let's see what's in there.
Oh no.
Stood on each other's shoulders, popped it off, got soaked, and caused massive water damage because it leaked from the bathroom into the library next door.
Oh no.
Not into the school library, and it just they had to rip up all the carpet. So for the rest of most of the next year, the library just had no carpet. It was just bare concrete.
Jeez.
Yeah, they got in big trouble.
Well, I imagine it.
I'm terribly curious how a whole bunch of water spraying down is going to affect this sandstorm.
Mud.
Mudstorm.
That is a thought.
Yeah,
Will it actually
it's-
slow down the monster of the week?
And we'll just make a mud monster.
Well, if it's not a giant flowing sandstorm, at least it's not gonna. Or I mean, if it's a mud monster, it's not gonna pass through fucking
Through the walls.
through the walls.
It's also gonna smell amazing. Thank you,
Yeah.
Cat, for
Sorry, Cat.
knocking things off of my shelf and scaring the absolute shit out of me.
Shit. Now all I could imagine is the
gotcha.
fucking bikers. And it's it's in the walls. It's in the goddamn walls.
Shoot.
I mean, yeah.
Go. Cat.
So. And sopping wet beast. Anyways, so you pull that and the water starts spraying, and you still hear the commotion and occasionally a few gunshots, but it does seem to help clear the air. But now you have to deal with the falling water rather than swirling sands, so its visibility is about the same. Although this time you can actually see the flicker of flame clear through the water rather than sand.
Yeah, and the little sand grains aren't cutting into your cheeks or
Mhm.
choking up your breath.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I think that's the best
Yep.
we're gonna get. Better get in there before they shoot each other.
Yep.
They might shoot you, Callie.
I'm sure they're gonna shoot me, but before something happens to kill one of them.
Maybe.
And hey, who knows? Maybe they'll be injured in a way we can just drag them out.
Always looking on the bright side, Tommy.
Eh.
I mean, maybe.
At this point, they don't deserve any pity.
So I have 2 hold. Escatha,
Yeah, I'm looking at the
my friend,
questions.
and
Hmm.
yeah, best way
Very
in,
much
best way
the best
out.
way in.
Yeah, what
Usually
would?
haven't noticed, biggest threat, vulnerable, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask.
Already the best way to protect victims.
First, I'm gonna ask what's the best way into that area that they are, and then I'm going to ask what's the most vulnerable to me.
The best way in, I kind of give this one to you because it is a fairly open floor, so you can just see straight across, and it's just like you see a row of slot machines, or what you would assume is slot machines underneath the tarp shape. You see a few what looks like card tables. You see a roulette wheel table that's pretty close to the front. But as you look further back, you see the shapes as they seem to be retreating into what looks to be a back area through some double swinging doors, maybe a kitchen. As you see what looks to be the figure. This time it's rather than what you saw of Soda, it is that familiar shape of a large feline shape stalking between the rows of slot machines towards them as they keep firing, and you see the flame licking off of it. But it does seem the water is like not extinguishing it, but keeping the flames from extending beyond itself
Okay.
at the moment.
So that would be the most.
And you actually do see that the water is actually extinguishing some places that were starting to catch.
Good. I like this casino. I'm sure she actually comes here.
You probably have before. I know, Carlos, you probably have. Tommy, you've just come to town, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, this place is fairly
Yes.
popular during the winter because it's it's a casino, and it's
I've
a
probably-
novelty.
Olivia's probably been here, but it's not somewhere she frequents.
Okay. So then the most vulnerable to me, is that going to be the very obvious flaming cat thing?
Yes, that was it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Olivia, you've probably been called out here to clear out the rattlesnakes that were trying to hibernate with the winter cold or the winter coming, and they're like, no, go hibernate somewhere else. People are about to be here.
Yeah, I took them somewhere safe.
So Winifred's gonna look at Tommy and Carlos and go, do you know if this place has a back door?
Probably.
Yeah, there would be.
If you can get
There's
to those,
like
you can get to those 2 idiots
there's
and
like
get them
service
out,
entrances.
I'll distract the thing.
I mean, I can help distract the thing if you want to go move them. They'll recognize you.
Yeah, they will
I'll-
recognize me, and that's not going to be a good thing. They're more likely to shoot at me than the magical thing trying to kill them with fire.
They are that kind of idiot, huh?
They're not my biggest fans.
You have fans?
No.
I mean,
Wow. You're her
Wait.
friend, Carlos.
Yeah.
wait a second. You don't have a fan? But we're in Arizona. It gets hot here.
Tommy.
He says while they're being drenched.
You can't hear my clapping, Shady.
You can actually see that as she's getting drenched, her purple dye job is running a little bit, and she's a little angry about it.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. If you need magic backup, just let me know. I'll go see if I can't find terrified, drenched bikers. They'll
And
probably
I'll come-
smell of wet leather.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to, while it's distracted, hopefully looking at the door, can I attack it?
What are you doing, Tommy, while Carlos does a circle around?
Where's my help needed more? is my question.
Let's throw a ranch at it.
No, don't bring that in.
Mhm. Is there like a bucket or anything?
Maybe. It's the place has been closed, shut down. You don't really see a bucket out on the casino floor right now.
Dang. Mindset was that if it were, water would have been pouring into it, and thus could have sprayed Kitty.
Yes, Kitty.
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 Well, you're not sure if there's a bucket, but you're pretty sure that even with the fire suppression, there's probably a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. So Tommy's going to look for one of those.
Yeah, and I'd say there's probably one not far from the front entrance or the front desk where Winifred hit the system.
Okay. Tommy's going to grab that and prime it to get it ready. And go with Winifred to distract the thing.
Okay.
I am just kind of giving that to you, but fire safety is important, so they would have one.
Yeah, especially in an old wooden building.
Yeah.
It'd be great if you had, fireproof clothing.
It would, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a shame.
So
That would be useful.
It sure would.
Winifred and Tommy, you are going after this. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Tommy, do you want to also kick some ass in addition to Winifred, or do you want to help out Winifred?
Let's see.
Or Winifred vice versa?
I shall kick some ass.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Help out is also a cool roll.
Yeah, it is, and I can use my weird of +3 to use kick ass. So
Yeah, if you both want to go for it, yeah. So, go ahead and roll kick some ass.
I got
actually-
an 11.
damn.
You know, since Winifred, you would have that +1 since you did use what's most vulnerable to me.
Okay, let's see what I roll. Um, 6, 7. Oh, that's just a 10.
Okay. 11 still good. That's you each get an extra effect. Gain advantage where you give +1 forward, or where you take 1 forward, or give 1 forward to another hunter. Inflict terrible harm, suffer less harm in retaliation, or force them where you want.
What do you want to do, Tommy? I'll plan around you.
Yeah. I guess force them where I want to just push them back away from the bikers and under more of the sprinklers.
And I'm going to give +1 forward to another hunter, which would be Carlos, so he can get them out of here easier.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
How do you attack, Winifred?
The dumbest way I possibly can. I'm going to jump on the flaming cat as Tommy sprays it with foam, puts it in the corner. Like, I'm gonna grab it from behind and put my fingers in its, like, eye sockets and pull it back so Tommy can push it into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's a little bit reversed where Tommy, you run ahead and kind of cut it off as it just snaps at you, but right as it goes to like snarl in your face, it just suddenly gets a fire extinguisher hose right in its open mouth as it rears back, and Winifred, that's when you use the time to jump up and just searing your hand so you would take 2 fire, but you start pulling it back, and it definitely, for an undead spirit, seems very distracted by this sudden assault.
Hey,
As-
just because you're a spirit of vengeance, you are not immune to. What the fuck?
As it starts like rearing back and starts like swiping in the air in front of it. Tommy, you have to step back.
Hmm.
But Carlos, you have an opening.
Fantastic. I'm going to be rushing in to go find a person that may or may not be dead.
Okay. Act under pressure.
Oh boy, I have a nice, cool 0 in that. So let's see what the dice say.
+1.
Plus one.
With the +1, it's a 9. Ugh.
Let's see. Okay, I'm going to give you a price to pay.
Okay. What's my price?
So you're rushing up to the what you recognize as would have been like the kitchen doors. So it's like a swinging double doors. And as you push it open, there's a gunshot as you get clipped for 2 damage as you take as they just fire at the first thing to kick the door or push the door open.
Hmm.
Yep. Armor would count if you have armor.
I don't.
Oh.
So you get like a deeper graze on the arm, and it's starting to bleed, but it's not like it hit bone or it's lodged in you at least.
That's good. There'll be a shit. Fuck.
You're definitely gonna need stitches. It feels like when you like go to cover it. They tore your nice jacket.
Motherfuckers! You know how much money I put into this fucking jacket? This is being shouted through the
And-
now open door.
You see a man leaning over from behind what looks to be like a one of the kitchen tables. That was the word. As with a handgun in hand, just kind of staring at you incredulously, as he was expecting a demon cat, and is now being yelled at by a random dude.
Yes. That's absolutely fair. It's like, look, we ain't got the time to deal with bullshit. I'll kick your ass about it later. Let's get the fuck out of here.
And you hear further in the kitchen a woman's voice go, "Don't have to tell me twice," as you see Ginger, or who you assume is Ginger, kick open the door and start running out into the night in the back. As Ricky goes, "Yeah, that sounds good." As he starts going, doesn't spare you another look, and he starts rushing towards the back.
As he does that, it's just like, if you're looking for safety, head to the preserve. If not, well, good fucking luck. And Carlos goes back to deal with the current situation. Bullet wound in hand. They are out. That is what matters.
Carlos,
So-
what's going on?
They got out.
Okay, so Winifred, you are now grappling this pissed off spirit of vengeance. And as you're grabbing it, it's this weird sensation because even as your hands are burning from grabbing, you can feel the bone warping and shifting as it seems to warp into its more oddly humanoid form. Still skeletal and flaming, but I was starting to lift you up because this is much taller than you are, but it's still bent backwards in a way that cannot be comfortable, even for an undead monstrosity.
Right.
And it just opens these like jawed fangs as it's just you are literally staring into the face and grabbing the face of something from a realm far more weird than even yours.
All right, boys, time to bail.
Yep.
I would like to do one thing as we try to escape. I would like to use a use magic move and try to control its fire down to less hot and spicy. This didn't go well the last time we tried, and I know a little more about it now, so I'm hoping the dice like me a little better.
Okay.
You fool.
Oh, I'm asking the nice politely. Please don't fuck me over in trying to use magic.
Be nice, dice.
Yep. Use a magic.
Yes. So that would be a 10.
Is that counting
See,
the plus
magic
one?
works without issues. Choose your effect.
Um,
Zoom type.
actually, I still have the bell on me. So I would like to try to,
If
knowing
you want,
that I
you
can't.
can use that. You can use that roll to use the bell.
Yes, I
And
want
it'll
to
still
use
be
that
a
roll
use.
to use the bell. I want to see if I can either trap it here temporarily, bar it from following us, or banish it, because that's a technical effect. Not a full banishment, but just a fuck off
Yeah.
for like 15 minutes, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Okay. So you reach into your bag, ignoring the blood dripping down your arm as you pull out this bell. You spend a rather intense time carving these diagrams into this tiny little bell. And how does it look when you use it? Using your
So,
magic.
using it, he rips it out and it's shaking. And Carlos, completely unsure of how to really operate the spell because you've read it in a book once doesn't mean you know how to use it. Gets that feeling in his bones. The tape
And it is
recorder
a
starts.
bell with a striker, not a
Yes.
clapper.
But he summons the magic into his hands. The tape recorder starts to play. I'm totally not trying to remember where I placed that playlist. Hold on a second. There it is. Because I think it would be funniest right now. Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Pepper starts to kick up, and using the like flaming parts of his hand, starts ringing the bell.
All right. Okay, so you pick up this little hammer that came with the bell when Hanzo gave it to you, and the flame seems to travel up the stick as if it's consuming it before centering around the head of it. And when you strike the bell, it's almost like a sound. It's almost like you can see the sound wave ripple out as the flame on the hammer and almost seems to ride out the ripple for a moment before it dissipates. But really only you see this because you're the one using the magic. Tommy and Winifred, it's all of a sudden you just see the skeletal creature as it starts to twist and bend while still keeping its head upside down, so its torso is facing you, Winifred, as it rears back to swipe before it just as if getting hit by a wave of invisible force. The bones just scatter and the flames snuff out, and the bones turn to sand in your grasp and just kind of fall from your fingers in the water that's starting to lessen up but still going. And all of a sudden it is silent besides the running of the water and then the sound of motorcycles revving up and racing off into the night.
She's gonna stand there with dust on her fingers, rapidly turn into muck, dripping wet, and go, oh, groovy.
Well, we did our service today.
No
Yeah.
sign of soda though.
Yeah.
No sign of soda though. You only saw him when you arrived.
No idea where the fuck Soda went to. I would go ask for bandages. I'm gonna go grab bandages from the vehicle so Lenny doesn't need us.
I think we should all just get out of here.
Yeah.
Watch out for the grenade.
Yeah. And apparently the guns under the tables.
Should we do something about that grenade?
Let me go patch my arm. I'll cut the thing so it doesn't trip. They're tension wires, so if you pull on them too much, you trip them off. But you cut them, they don't go off.
Like,
Good.
would I know if this fire alarm would alert the authorities to the fact that there's a fire?
If you go over and look at where you hit the switch, and you actually do see, it does say, it does say that it would alert emergency fire services.
Yeah, the fire services are coming.
They'll find evidence of a fire. So, Tommy, you've got a free hand. I'm bleeding out of an arm. Take my bolt cutters. Just cut the damn wires.
And Tommy does so. Hip.
If you want to make it an act under pressure, do it.
That's the thing. I've already done that to Tommy so many times this arc, and it hasn't done very well.
I can do it instead. If Tommy wants to take him out and do his garbage can surgery on your arm instead.
I can do it. It's fine.
Okay. I was offering.
So, yeah, dude, act under pressure. This is gonna be hilarious. I'm
Gray?
sorry if this.
Remember to cut the green wire. They're all gray.
Okay, so
Great.
yes.
I just want to say one thing before I say my role.
Mm-hmm.
My blood is on your hands, fucker. I got 4.
Oh!
You'll be fine.
Alright.
You didn't
Let me
take
go
any.
look up what a grenade damage is, and
Oh my god! Maybe it's a good time to use a luck point, Shady.
Yeah, use a luck point.
Nah, just take it.
yeah, you all
Take the
have
hit.
those.
No, don't take the hit. You'll die.
I forgot about
I
those.
I want to hear what the damage is first, just
Oh my
for
God.
curiosity's sake.
The chin like a champ.
I want to see if I can take it.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, I want you to guess what it is. So, handgun is 2 damage, and assault rifle is 3 damage. What would you think a grenade is?
If it's
6
below
damage.
5, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, 6 damage is what I'm guessing.
I'm guessing 5.
It's actually 4.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
Hmm.
Yeah. Grenade and grenade launcher, which is only available to the professional, which Isaac never took.
Huh.
But yeah,
I think 4 is still enough to put you into dying range.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
not
it
take
is.
that,
Yeah.
Tommy.
Mm.
Tommy.
Well,
I'll burn the
No, you
luck
can't
point.
take it.
I'll burn the luck point.
Yeah, good lord.
Just like listening to us go, no.
Fucking shoulder devil.
Don't do it, Shady. Shoulder devil. But wait, what if we do?
Take it up the chin, it'll be a great story.
Lick
Yeah,
the
and I was
bones.
doubting, even though armor would probably block some of the force, that armor would block the blast.
Jesus fucking.
yeah.
Lord,
So
Shady.
generally, if an attack is going to ignore armor, it will let you know. So.
Does it ignore
hold on,
armor?
Let me go look and look. 4 harm, close area, nasty, loud.
Doesn't sound like it ignores armor then. Although
Nope.
that
Yeah,
1
'cause it'd
point
be like-
armor. Still.
I have
Shady, just
2.
use the luck point.
I'll be fine. I'm taking the hit.
No!
Oh my god!
Shady, no.
We have the rest of the arc to do!
It's fine.
I can't animal doctor you forever.
You have a lot of luck points, Shady. Please use one.
Yeah,
Ask the doctor
Fine.
himself, finally.
like think of it this way, Shady. You could take the random grenade now and almost guarantee during the ritual dying. Or you can leave it entirely up to chance of the ritual of him dying.
And let me
So,
tell
are
you,
you
my dog
using luck
Chance
point?
is not merciful. I shit you not. That is his actual name.
Oh shit! Now I'm thinking that if there's like a god of luck in something, they do need a god dog named Chance.
Yes.
Yeah, every time someone asks me, hey, when you get a chance, I milk that shit. It's like your fault for keeping the
you're
dog's
using-
name.
Yeah, I'm using the luck point.
Okay, so you decrease a wound you just suffered to 0 harm. So, Oh, you get to choose. You can decrease the wound, or after a roll, retroactively change the result to a 12. Because it's a player's choice when that happens.
I'm going to. You said decrease the wound to 0.
Yeah, or make the roll count as a 12.
I'm going to decrease it to 0 and just
Walk through the
take,
explosion.
the cartoon like
So if you use the
gun
luck point,
bang in face.
it just means to succeed.
Well, no, I'm looked up in the Monster League handbook. Luck counter. You can choose to mark off a point of luck in return for a lucky break. Specifically, when you spend a lucky point, you can choose one of these. Decrease the wound you just suffered to 0 harm, or after you roll, retroactively change the result to a 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, just because it is hilariously funny to consider this becoming a thing that's in the world, if you changed it to 12, that means the grenade's salvageable, Tommy. You can have a grenade.
I'm changing it to 12.
I knew that was gonna happen.
You've given him this power. I just want you to remember that.
Like, I know, it's just because it's funny. It's funny to me specifically.
Sometimes you gotta give Shady a grenade and see what happens.
Yep. Let the chaos
So-
reign.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to clip it, and the tension gone on the pin, you're able to reach in and unstick it. It just like taped to the wall, and yeah, you have acquired 1 grenade.
Okay.
And as you put that in your bindle, Winifred, you can hear far off. It's still too far off for the 2 humans to hear, but you start hearing the distant wailing of a fire truck.
Okay, the fire truck's coming.
All right, let's get out of here.
They're actually, I'll say, Tommy, just because you technically used a luck point, and I feel bad if this would happen. You are able to go snip the other wires, so there isn't a firefighter that suddenly gets shot in the leg.
Yeah.
But that's about all the time you have is to snip the wires, grab the grenade, and go. So, that, as you all pile into the jalopy, y'all can head out, and we are switching back over to the other 4.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Olivia, Fred, and Connor.
Yeah.
And I believe we left off with Hanzo picking up the phone to call Detective Trent as Olivia talked with Fred about the importance of cinder blocks or something like that.
What?
There's some. Fred was
Remember the
really
cinder
into
blocks?
about using that cinder block that
I
he ripped
think
out
it
of the
was
wall.
Yeah, remember how I was
Not
using that
to.
cinder block to keep people from getting in or out of the apartment?
I think it was me telling him not to bring the cinder block.
He blew it anyway.
You made sure that I brought the cinder block. You said, Fred, that's a good idea. Keep that around.
I did not say that. You're putting words in my mouth, friend.
Hanzo, this conversation's going on as you ring up Bentley, and
Well, look, it's in the car
You're-
now.
What? Why'd you put that in
After
my
a-
car?
Well, we needed it.
No, we don't.
Listen,
this is in the
you're gonna want to
background
have it
as-
if we need it.
We will find. We can
the-
find something, anything to use instead of a cinder block.
But maybe we'll need a cinder block specifically.
What?
Okay.
I don't know.
Neil,
It's big and
hold on a
heavy.
second. We're shifting camera focus for a second. Hold on. So Hanzo, the line rings a few times before you clicks, and you hear the tired voice of voice go, Detective Bentley, Bentley. What can I do for you?
All right, detective. It's
Yes,
Hanzo.
Hanzo.
So I've got a lead for you.
Oh, you can hear him audibly perk up.
It appears I have identified one of the people at the crime scene. The one
Go
of
on.
them who escaped. You already know the Epiphany, yes? Hello?
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 Maybe microwave.
Please hold while the DM comes back.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
currently
Oh,
working
okay.
in
So
a
here's the
rotisserie
things you can
chicken.
do with a cinder block. First of all, it's heavy. It can hold things down or open. Second, we throw it. You hit somebody, gonna hurt.
That's you have a bat for one. That could hit that you also hit somebody and not hit them with an entire block of concrete, which could kill them on impact. So could a baseball bat, but that is much more easy to control. What else did you say?
Well, it's a very large cinder block, and there you go.
No, you're taking that out of my car.
It's got rough texture, and I think that's very unpleasant on the skin. So if we throw it at somebody, they're gonna be like, "Oh, not my skin."
She's rubbing your forehead. Listen, Brad, you somehow keep turning out to be right with things, so I'm going to let you keep the cinder block. But I want to on record that I think you shouldn't bring cinder block.
All right. Well, I'm gonna.
If oh, why are you so gung ho about this cinder block?
I just think it's a good find.
It's a cinder block. You can find them anywhere.
Well, now we've got one. We don't have to look for them
Why would you look for them?
because
We're
you
fighting
said we
something made
can
of
find them
sand.
anywhere.
You're fighting something made of sand.
Now, well, it's like a concrete, really. Now, if we need a cinder block, we've got a cinder
No.
block.
We're fighting something made of sand. I didn't say that
Yeah,
was
and
made
you
of
know
sand.
what? I bet it won't like getting hit with a cinder block. And also, it's made of
Yeah.
bones too. You know what
Yeah,
can
the
smash
bones? Are
bones?
made of sand.
You know what can smash bones? Cinder
Oh
block.
my god. Oh my god.
If you give a cinder
no,
block
not
to
yet,
Winifred
no.
and tell her to whip it at something, she will.
Yes.
I
But
bet that's
should
gonna
you?
do some fucking awesome damage.
She will be delighted that you thought of that.
Yes, the OTP of Fred and Fred, not in a romantic sense, but enabling each other in the most horrible of ways.
No, yeah,
Compatibly
that's
batshit crazy.
Yes, drift compatible.
Yes. I appreciate that that's in our lexicon.
Same wavelength of fucking bad man.
Yeah. All right. We'll take the cinder block, but
I mean, we're already driving, so it's
We're
not like there's.
driving.
Oh shit, aren't we?
Not yet.
No,
Just hanging out?
we're waiting for Hanzo to finish on the phone. And that's it. And then we need to decide where we're going next. Are we going to go to his base? Are we going to go to the casino? What's our plan after this?
I guess to spare on time and tell it here, my plan is I'm going to call the detective, and we're going to go find and meet up with the others to track down that fucking cat.
All right, that's pretty. Yeah, all right. I wonder if the others are in like radio. What's the word? I wonder if they're in range for the radio.
Turn up the radio.
I'm not.
Please, we're dying out here.
Is that in your playlist of magic, Carlos?
It better be.
Which one?
Turn up the radio.
Not currently. Let me take a look since we're taking a quick break.
I mean, I'm still doing it.
Pain.
I don't know.
So, turn up the radio would fit in. So let me just go at it real quick.
I've never heard of this song before today, so.
You've probably heard it.
I don't recognize it off the top of my head, but I've probably heard it.
You're
before.
also younger than we are.
Shut the fuck up.
You are.
No. You are a child.
Baby.
Hey, Nora, no one appreciates being called a child. I'm sure you don't.
No, okay. I mean,
Baby.
Point made. Point made. Apologies.
However, there is an exception to this rule. My father, who proudly claims to be 4 years old.
Your
I'm
father
just a
sounds
little man.
Your father sounds rad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, hey, you're still wearing a lot of dinner on your face. I'm 4. Please forgive me.
All right, back.
Sarah is having some net issues, so we're just,
Okay.
we're role playing to pass the time.
Mm-hmm.
Fred takes out a Sharpie from his pocket and draws a smiley face on the cinder block.
Where?
On the cinder block.
Are you gonna name it Fred 3?
No, that'd be egotistical.
What are you gonna name it? Are you naming it?
Charles Magnuson.
Why are you naming it?
I don't know. Feels like a fun thing to do while we're waiting.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, because Mr. Klutzman is the kind to take simple joys out of life.
After making a smile, he modifies the smile so it's got like a big toothy grin with a little bit of a gap between the front two teeth. And then adds like a chin underneath it, like a Chad, like square jaw chin. Gives it a sort of cocky expression with some eyebrows.
You should
draws pretty convincing, like James Bond-esque suave hair.
Yeah, you should give it a crack to represent the cleft of the chin.
Yeah, it's got that. It's got that little like chin butt crack. All right, Charles Magnuson, we got a mission for you, and that mission's called "Beat Something with Your Face."
All righty, boss. That's what I was made for.
It's me, Charles Magnuson, and I'll gladly beat something with my cinder block face. Oh, thank you, Charles Magnuson. You're welcome, Fred, and I must say you're looking quite handsome today. Oh, thank you. You know, I've been thinking about going to one of those gyms. No, don't go to those. They're a rip-off of money. Oh, thank you, Charles Magnuson. You should just do cocaine. Oh, that doesn't sound like a good idea. Everyone does do cocaine in Hollywood. I don't think I'm going to talk to you anymore, Charles Magnuson.
I do believe you are canceling me.
That's not a term that's invented yet.
That's because I invented it. A man ahead of my time. friendship ended with Cinderblock.
Now Sharpie's my best friend.
What are you doing, Fred?
I don't know, killing time. What are you doing?
Waiting for Hans to finish this really long phone call.
Yeah, how are you keeping from being bored?
Pondering the immortality of the lobster.
No, I'm just running some scenarios through my head.
Do any of them involve cinder blocks?
No, I mean unless you count like somebody who's really muscular as a cinder block.
Oh, she's thinking of the gay.
Oh.
Do you watch wrestling? Do you watch wrestling?
No, it's kind of violent for me.
I mean, hey, well, wrestling is it's
Zero.
yay.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, we got it worked out.
You dare?
Yes, can you? Yeah. Say something, Sarah.
I'm here. I'm just
Hello.
Hey.
frustrated
Yeah.
with my hotspot.
It's all right. Fred and Olivia were talking to pass the time.
You have returned to us now. At the turn of
Yes.
the tide.
I can't remember where we left off. You're
I was about
calling
to
somebody-
call up the detective.
Oh, you did, and he.
Oh yeah, I told him I have a lead for him.
Okay, and he goes, on someone. All right. He goes, what? Do you mean the bikers, or kind of trails off, leaving it?
I do. The source of the Epiphany leak.
Go on.
I was investigating my own leads, and we came upon an apartment. The person's apartment. They're Dr. Damien Micah Porter.
He hears a clacking of keyboard typing. Seems he's writing all this down.
I am fairly certain he is he was involved in the shooting out in the desert. So I tracked him down tracked down his apartment. The place he looks like he cleared the place out, and bugged out to a warehouse. And looks like the bikers came in later, also trying to look for him or whatever he left behind. I have pressing matters to attend to, so I am trusting you with this lead.
And I'm going to guess he is a stray of pluripotents.
That is correct.
Gotta say, it's not looking good. But we'll put an alert out for this Dr. Porter. See
Yeah,
if we
it's
can-
Safe House E west of town. Not too far from the farmhouse belonging to that poor motherfucker who got eaten.
Which poor
Alright.
motherfucker that got eaten? Be more specific.
The farmhouse I specified.
Yeah, Barrett was the farmer's last name.
That's right.
But he goes, okay, well, I'll make sure that any patrols around there are looking, and I'm gonna go take a look myself. All right, thank you for the information. This is good.
Building bridges and whatnot.
Yes, there's actually when you get some time, I actually want to speak to you about Epiphany itself. I've been doing my own reading, and some interesting stuff turning up.
I've been meaning to meet with you anyway, so we'll go about our respective businesses.
and he signed, he goes, well, good luck. And he hangs up his phone.
Mm-hmm. Rolls down the window, calls to the other two. Let's go find the others.
What?
Let's go find the others.
All right, we're
Connor
putting the
just gonna
band back
watch.
together.
Connor's just been staring at him.
Yeah, you fucking dead silent, Connor. You've been here.
Gonna
Right,
have
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I
You've
know.
been here. You've just been fucking dead quiet.
I went to go cook the chickens. I just got back.
Oh, okay.
Gotta introduce everybody to
Oh,
the newest
yeah.
member of the group, Chad Magnuson. And the most expendable.
All right. Well. All right. Where do you want to? Where are we gonna meet up?
Hey, you didn't miss much. I only just got back, and Hanzo just talked to Bentley. So,
Did the others share where they were going?
yeah, because you all heard from Itzel told the group, and then you all split up. She told the group about the casino.
All right, let's. Probably best bet is looking for that casino. With luck, they've already taken care of things, and we'll meet them halfway. If not, we'll be there to reinforce them.
Don't forget, you do have the radios, which you would think if they were at the casino, it'd be too far away to work, but they have a decent range. So.
Yeah. Once we get closer, we can just call them up.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
All right. But anyway, Fred, wrestling is, it's violent only in the sense that, like, it's a sport. It takes a lot of, skill to do that. Fred?
It's
Yeah, all right, I'll agree with that.
the appeal definitely lies not in the huge, muscular women,
Listen,
sweaty
I
women
just
slamming into each other.
I don't want to see a bunch of rippling dudes hit each other with chairs. Okay, it's not my scene. Now, if you want to talk about animal documentaries on that new Discovery Channel, I'm cool with that. I like seeing
Fred.
British people talk over footage of chameleons eating bugs. I'm down to watch that violence.
That does sound pretty rad, I'm not gonna lie. But, like, wrestling is not just dudes. Fred, come on.
Oh, there's girls in wrestling?
Absolutely.
I thought it was just like your Stone Cold Steve Anus man and the under.
This
big one?
predates Stone Cold.
I don't.
actually
Out
know
of character, I don't know very much about wrestling.
Okay.
You're Randy.
Hulk
you're-
Hogan. Hulk Hogan. And
Okay.
Randy
Yeah,
Savage.
you're in
Those
Hulk-
would be appropriate.
You're Hulk Homan and you're Wrangle Savage.
Still recovering from Steve Anus.
Oh yeah.
Get right up
Stone
in
Cold
there,
Steve Anus.
Stone Cold Steve
That's
Anus.
I guess that's the Triple X porn parody.
Fred, that's like the big wrestling thing, but like that's like the Disney to other wrestlings. Oh God.
All right, I'll tell you.
So-
I'll tell you what.
So,
I'll watch wrestling with you if you carry this cinder block when we need to get out of the car.
Deal.
So as probably the wrestling nerd in the chat, we are in the ECW, WWF. You've got this is before WWE kind of grabbed everyone and had that monopoly for a while. So there's a whole bunch.
I do want to note she is specifically talking about like luchador style wrestling.
Yeah,
She, like,
So you
it's-
mentioned. Sorry, good.
No, you first.
You mentioned Don Bluth and if he's around. Secret of
Yeah.
NIMH, the first movie they did was '82, so it's been out
Okay,
for 10
yeah.
years by this point.
You think of it like, the big wrestling thing that's like you see on TV is like the Disney, whereas there are plenty of like Don Bluths in the wrestling world. Does that make sense?
There's
Fred, you
furries?
follow me?
Yep, yeah.
Oh man, like fucking
Luchadors?
Luchador. There's some Luchador stuff. It's great. You'll love it.
Okay.
All right, yeah, let's go.
You're gonna awaken something in Fred. I hope you know that.
I assume this was while you were all driving.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Connor, I assume you went into the car with Hanzo.
Yeah. Sure.
Halfway through the drive is like,
No, I mean, it's just. I mean, Olivia and Fred, I think, showed up in Olivia's truck.
yeah, halfway through the
Yeah.
drive, Hanzo just randomly comments, blissful silence, stops talking.
Connor just makes like a coughing trickle.
Oh God.
There is a indecipherable emotion on his face.
That's what you get.
You hear the little voice go, interesting friends.
Just as much as making a lot of assumptions right now.
Wow. I mean, no, that's accurate.
Making
Yeah.
a lot of assumptions right
Oh, TN.
It's like, yeah, they've only known each other for. The group's only known each other for like a couple of weeks. And they're still weirdos.
And most of
Yeah.
it's been fighting.
That's the pot calling the
Including
kettle black.
I would say, including Connor, or especially Connor.
I mean, to be fair, Hanzo would not consider anyone in the group of friends either.
Yeah, same with Tommy.
Oh my god.
Like, the difference is Connor.
Just Olivia. It's just like Olivia and Fred are just like, wait, we're not friends? We're not all friends? We're just co-workers?
Okay, Olivia would consider Winifred and Fred, and maybe and probably Tommy.
When a friend.
She's not entirely sure with
maybe?
Tommy because Tommy's hard to read. She would consider them friends, at the very least acquaintances. The rest of them are like co-workers /
Weirdos.
Those
Weirdos.
motherfuckers I spend way
So-
too much time with.
Like,
Against
Yeah.
my
the
better
difference-
judgment.
The
Okay.
difference between Connor and Hanzo is Connor sees you all as acquaintances, some more pleasant than others. And Hanzo is just, these are people I work with and may not completely hate.
Yeah, Hanzo's perspective is like, it is frustrating how much I can figure out in your presence.
Wow.
It's like it's more of a reflection on himself. It's like, what does it say about me that I'm more productive with you all?
It says that we're a good team and good friends.
It says that you're in a shitty working environment. Like I would like being at the preserve is fucking great. It's like one of my favorite places to be. So
Mm-hmm.
no, we're in the
And
same
so-
car, so that conversation didn't happen. But
Well, I would say you might be talking. Well, no, you want to be talking over the radios. You're not that kind of group.
Wait,
yeah, we're not
I have
constantly
a
on.
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the super organism, will a shitty work environment be towards the end of the digestive system?
I don't think it should. I don't think that a creature like that should. Really.
It was the low hanging fruit.
I don't know, Tommy. Find out for us. You're going into the soup.
Oh God.
See you in the soup, gang.
Get digested, idiot.
Get digested, idiot.
Thumbs up like Terminator as he sinks in.
Oh God. I can't believe we.
I'm not,
can't
I'm not
believe
calling Tommy an idiot. It's just the meme was too perfect.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking love that meme.
So I'd say that if anyone would be so inclined, if anyone checked the radios, you all would be within range of each other to start congregating as you started to head towards the casino and they started heading back into town.
Excellent.
Excellent.
And it would be any. Please take the radio. I'm still patching up my arm.
That's fair. So yeah, she'll click it on and tell them that they're headed back to, what is home base for this adventure?
The
Yeah.
diner.
No, the preserve.
Oh, right.
The diners are a normal one. We're just doing the preserve because it's where we keep our kidnapped human being.
Yep.
And people
I don't
keep
know,
getting
the
injured.
The preserve is literally the safe place.
Yep.
So
It's
Yeah.
also factually where we're keeping our kidnapped human being.
yes.
It's not
Yeah,
kidnapping,
Lucy
it's
is-
house arrest.
Lucy is might be getting to start reconsidering some things.
Hey, it's not my fault he stabbed someone.
It's his own fault he stabbed someone.
So
Personal accountability, motherfucker.
It's like,
you're
you
all
act
heading
out
back to
one more
preserve
time, we're putting you in there with the goose.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
The goose was the nickname for the moa.
I was thinking just a
Yeah.
standard old Canadian goose. You're locked in a concrete
no,
room,
what?
and it's completely bare. You're strapped to the chair, and there's a goose there.
It could be one of those giant swans that lived on the same island as the mini elephants.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. You could also technically do the big fucking ground bird from Australia, which was technically a goose.
Oh yeah,
Oh fuck! I forgot about the terror ducks.
Yeah, the
yeah,
pterodactyl.
they're just too heavy to fly.
I would like to make a motion to make them cannons.
I'll think about it.
Is that going to be your interrogation tool? It's like, bring out the goose.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's just a goose. How much trouble could that be? Base boosted honk. Oh fuck.
it's like, put him with the goose. And 5 minutes later, I'll tell you everything.
So you all gather at the preserve.
Gets one look at you guys. Is this how you feel, Hanzo?
Hmm.
See how fucked up they all are.
Like Carlos pulls up in the
Everyone's
jalopy.
Everyone's got
so-
fucking beat their shit.
hmm
It's like shit.
Everyone's
Olivia looks at
Carlos
them.
is holding a bloody arm. Winifred's dye job is ruddy.
And her hands are blistered from fire.
And Tommy's
Um,
the most unharmed.
No, he has a bullet
For
For
wound.
once.
Oh,
He has
So-
a bullet
so-
wound.
No,
Olivia.
he got grazed.
Olivia,
Great.
his armor negated all the damage. Carlos
Oh,
has more
okay,
gun
okay.
damage right now.
Technically, Connor's the most unharmed. It's just his base normal sucks.
Uh-huh.
So, what you were
Tommy's
asking,
got hobo powers.
Elbow powers.
what you were asking, Olivia, is this what it feels like to you, Hanzo?
Yeah, whenever people come back are you know.
Yes.
And Carlos, if you want, they can patch you up, but the vet technician who does it is starting to give you all some very concerned looks because this has been an eventful 2 days.
This ain't a
Yeah.
fucking hospital. I should
First
start
rule,
charging
Fight
you
Club.
all.
Like looks at the vet as they're patching it up, looks them dead in the eyes, and goes, "You know I don't have insurance."
Looks down at your pockets. It's like,
I mean, if you're just gonna say it.
Ironically, Carlos has the most money out of the group.
it's like,
Yeah?
you may not have insurance, but pretty sure you got this change.
Oh, I
Yeah,
got the money.
Carlos
That's
has
not the
most
problem.
money.
But they can patch up 2 harm.
Hey, I'm back to full. I don't feel great in my arm.
You stitch up your arm, and Winifred, I can't remember. Do you have like any vampire healing thing?
Yeah, as soon as I drink something, it's going to go back to.
Okay, yeah. So that's what Itzel was doing last time after she got sunburned chasing down Texas. But there you get served up a new blood, and you'll be you can get healed from that.
I also have a way to heal myself in combat, so I'm usually fine.
You can't drink the blood of
It's
skeleton.
just I can't drink the blood of a skeleton, and I'd have to roll cool for my other healing.
You know, a terrible idea, a terrible like image just popped in my head.
Hmm.
It's like the joke that oh yeah, blood is her spinach.
I mean, spinach is higher in iron.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Anywho's
She
as
crushes a can of blood.
as Carlos is getting patched up at the vet, he's gonna have like wait for Hanzo to come over to him.
Canned blood.
Yeah, that was the worst part of the image in my head. Is like, oh god, canned blood.
Like
What?
bottles of blood for some reason don't seem as bad as canned blood.
It's because canned drinks automatically have a slightly metallic taste to them.
It's blood!
Canned
Ugh.
blood would be
Like
immensely worse.
you're licking a battery.
Yeah.
Ugh.
In case you need more iron with your iron. If you cut yourself on the lid, that's good luck. It adds to the flavor.
My god.
Anyway,
I have come before Carlos.
So, and I'm assuming this is like Carlos is like looking at like gives a look to the vet like I'm about to say shit that sounds mental. So he tests
And
the
they're
bell
like-
and the
and they're like, wait, and they're like, I don't need to hear any more weirdness you all do, and they like finish patching you up and then like excuse themselves.
Get the fuck out.
You know what? You know, as Carlos be like, you know what? You are one of the smartest people I've met in the last 2 weeks. Look at the crowd I've assembled so far. Anywho's
And
Hanzo.
here I am patching you all up. Okay.
Hey, I appreciate it. There'll be when he leaves, there will be a 20 in his pocket that he has no idea how it got there. So good news, bell works, even without doing the ritual. Insta-desummoned the son of a gun,
That's good.
so we can at least buy time if it shows up again. I don't know if that was just temporary or if it's hunting the two bikers down wherever they're riding in the desert. Quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. Fucker shot me.
Yes, they're gonna do that.
But the bell seemed to instantly desummon it. So we should, if it's worked on the path it's done before, it should not be re-emerging tonight. And we can set up have some more time for a proper sealing spell. We have our coyote skull that we can put away in a box. Not that I trust that any more than I do the cactus out in the desert. Because, like, yeah, someone can disturb a cactus way out in the middle of the fuck of nowhere in a desert. Or we can put it in a box and tempt somebody to open the box and fuck with the demon skull. But that's fine. That's something for later.
Weaponizing
So we're gonna put it
the
in a-
monsters
we're gonna-
you defeat for later.
We're gonna put it in a skull. What if we find like a golf course or something that like the land isn't gonna get touched for like a long ass time because of either it's owned by people who are just gonna be stingy about it, or a place that's like wrapped up in legal issues, and so like fucking God himself couldn't get that land from anybody. Why don't we find
Curse
somewhere
the-
like that and bury it there?
The golf course, yes. Yes!
Yes, a golf course in the desert.
You say that like
I mean,
fucking rich douchebags don't do that anyway.
there's so many golf courses around here, and we live in a desert. It's like, sure, we live in a city, but you forget we're in the middle of the Sonoran Desert.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that they finally, this is me getting a little locally political here, at least they finally rejected the license that the farms owned by Saudi Arabia and transport all the way back to Saudi Arabia, they're rejecting their water license this year, finally. Because they're like one of the biggest drains of the local water supply.
Good.
Damn.
Yeah.
So,
It's like, anyways, sorry. Yes, Fred?
so a question: how was the cinder block I was sent to get gonna figure into this?
And
Well-
we agreed. We made the agreement that I would carry this for you. And
Yeah,
that
but
you
with-
keep it- it
But
goes
like,
on
like,
record-
how is this gonna figure into his plan to stop the monster?
It was on
So-
record that I didn't want this.
This is the first I'm seeing of the cinder block. Oh, it has a cute little face on it.
Ignore that. That's not important. I'm not sure how that got there.
Fred, we know you. Come
yeah.
on.
Oh, that's just how cinder blocks work. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just how they work.
Good lord.
Yeah, it's literally like a cinder block that one side of it is painted because it was literally taken out of a wall.
That's his hair. So, anyways, what are we gonna do with this?
So
I can feel
What's
the
gonna-
headache coming.
what's going to happen is that I'm going to be doing the magic part of the sealing of the crater. Hanzo will be doing the chanting in Japanese because we trust him like that.
You need two people chanting.
And we're going to get somebody else. I believe we had voted Tommy because Tommy
Tommy
is
or Fred?
arguably Tommy. Fred was very vehement on him not being able to say it right and butchering it. So we're going to respect Fred's wishes on that, which means Fred, buddy, oh dear, oh pal of mine, you're
Yep.
on defense duty, and that's where your brick comes in. You're gonna have
Damn.
to huck it.
All right.
I'm guessing Connor doesn't speak Japanese, right?
No.
That laugh.
No.
Oh,
Yumo gui gui vai mi zao.
that's Chinese.
Yes, it is.
Magic must defeat magic.
I don't
Bad
need
day,
to
bad day, bad day.
That show kicked ass.
Mhm.
It's so good.
It's by
It kicked more ass
Decimers.
than it had any right to.
What were you saying?
And coincidentally, that show also had a chupacabra.
What were you
See,
saying? there?
I know some Japanese. You spy Decimers.
What?
Are you? Look,
What?
What the fuck did you just say?
Nakamers.
I feel like that would hurt Hanzo on a personal level.
He didn't say
Nakamers?
that. He didn't say that again.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, that sounded close to.
You know, Nakama.
Mm.
Oh my god,
The Nakama.
that's
Or
terrible.
Nakamers. Tommy
Ugh.
Nakamers.
Tommy.
Are you okay, Hanzo? I'm sorry.
This is out of character, but somehow
I know.
through the fourth wall, it's drilling into his brain.
He's more concerned. Is like, I hope he doesn't have a coughing fit in the middle of the chanting, and because I
Yeah,
don't
the-
know if that would like interrupt it.
Yeah, that's also
I mean-
probably a good idea.
Tommy's the one chanting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No.
Tommy's going to do the chanting, you're going to do chanting, I'm going to do weird magic bullshit, and everyone else is on defense.
I could throw something
Right.
at it. Sure.
We'll figure out what to do with the
Curse the
skull
shit
after
out
the
of it.
fact.
Tell it to fuck off into the sun. That might make it even more mad.
Me and Winifred and Fred are gonna be like physically holding it off.
Fred squared, if you will.
Fred
Yeah. Fred squared.
I mean,
Well, Fred was going to do the bell holding because he has, as he
Oh,
put it
right.
last time, bell holding experience.
I do.
Oh, yeah, that's
But
right.
refuse to expand upon.
I have a proficient amount of bell holding experience. I can get my resume out if you want to look it over.
No,
Yes.
I trust you.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe you, but I still want to see it.
This is
Completely
God.
different reasons.
So, yeah, it is getting decently late. Maybe not quite midnight, but approaching. Because this has been a long day for the group. So, I'm afraid you're not feeling tired, but everyone else is probably getting a little bit more tired.
Especially the ones who got beat to shit.
Yeah, that was most of the group.
Not me. Work smarter, not harder.
Tommy and Fred got injured fighting off the cat in the car. Then Tommy got shot in the leg, but it was a graze.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, Tommy's having luck.
No good, very bad day.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's
just
not even
clip.
Bird involved this time.
Oh, just clip the wire. It'll be fine.
Fine.
Hey, now you could say you defused a grenade.
And now you're an all-star.
Yeah.
That's something a cool story to tell your other hobo friends who won't believe you.
Friends.
Fellow
I'm gonna be honest,
hobos.
guys, I'm not looking-
Lovers?
I'm not looking. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm not looking forward to like being in a physical confrontation with this thing.
Oh, I've done it a couple of times. It's not that bad. And the horse doctor will fix you up real good.
Okay, but like we're gonna have to like hold it off while you guys do this.
Get a fire extinguisher or something.
I have a fire extinguisher, and I have
Hey.
fireproof.
Hey, does it have to be a person holding the bell?
Someone has to be
Hanzo?
striking it in time. Although,
Okay, so we
Yeah,
can't
it has
just
to
put it
be-
on the cinder block.
No.
No,
But you can
Mr.
stand on the
Clefton.
cinder block.
get a couple more inches.
I always wanted to be a bit taller.
In about 30 years, there will be a surgery for that.
All right.
No, I mean naturally, or with the help of the Dragon Balls, whichever comes first.
Okay, Frida.
He raises an eyebrow. You watch that?
Well, my kid loves that Japanimation.
It would be still Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
When did Dragon Ball first come out?
80s.
Well,
It was
no,
like-
Dragon Ball got localized after DBZ, I think.
Well,
Oh,
yes and
first graded in
no.
'84.
Yes and no, because they're like Japanese anime was actually being released stateside. It was just a very niche thing in the 80s.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball specifically was
86
never
to
localized.
89.
Like I know when it
Released
came
in-
out, I'm saying I don't know if it was like translated.
So like there was a Dragon Ball dub before the one that everyone remembers from Dragon Ball Z. With a completely different group of actors, like than the ones the DBZ cast. The DBZ dub that we're all familiar with, the Sean Schemmel dub, that cast didn't do Dragon Ball until after Z.
Yeah, I knew there was multiple Dragon Ball Z dubs. I just wasn't sure about the Dragon Ball side.
Dragon Ball actually did get released here, but like in the age when it was a super obscure niche, like comic book shop nerd thing to watch anime, and anime was called Japanimation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That's why I have Fred refer to it as Japanimation. It's a specifically dated
I know
term.
about the Japanimation thing. I was talking specifically about Dragon Ball itself, which we have
And
answered the question.
also you're talking about like official localizations, and like in like the 80s and early 90s, there were a lot of just bootleg anime
Yeah.
That is true.
Was
dubs
dubbed-
and things.
Dragon Ball in particular was dubbed by somebody called Harmony Gold USA in the late 80s.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
Goku was Zero, Bulma was Lena, and Oolong became Mao Mao. So enjoy that knowledge
Why did they give Oolong a different Asian name?
because of his Chinese soldier attire.
Oh my god.
Oh
I
my
forgot about
God.
that.
Oh.
So a
Yeah,
little
Oh.
maybe racist there.
Oh, definitely racist.
Yeah, that's why he was
Yeah.
a pig.
What is it with like 80s and 90s anime dubs changing girls' names to Lena?
Why the fuck is Goku Zero? Who the fuck knows, dude?
This sounds like an actual conversation between Winifred and Fred.
It is. It is now.
Like 10 years later,
You
10 years
go-
later, when anime is called anime, we'll be having this conversation.
Yeah.
It's just I figure Fred probably got to Japanimation because maybe one of his kids was.
One of his kids is a huge fucking like comic book shop nerd, and loves Japanimation, and that's one of the things that Fred is like in the divorced dad role of trying to make buy kids affection. That is one of the things that he'll shell out for, but the mom won't. The mom doesn't trust these foreign cartoon things. She thinks there's inappropriate shit. And Fred's like, yeah, I'll go to the comic book shop and help you buy some Japanimation VHSs. I'll watch them with you too if you want.
That's wholesome as hell.
That is wholesome and I love it. It's
Yeah.
It's gonna be
we
fun
need to remember,
when they eventually
need to
come to
remember.
town.
Olivia is taking Fred out for a drink after this is over.
So, unless there was anything any of you wanted to do to prepare during the night,
I just want to make sure I have all my gear ready.
yeah. So,
I wanted to broach something with the group.
Mm.
We seem to have figured out what we're each going to be doing, but that still leaves that still isn't a plan. If it's following its pattern, that's only going to go after or just kill at least one person a day. Then tomorrow's our next best opportunity, but we don't know where the bikers have gone to ground.
We don't know.
And who knows, maybe the Kasha will target Micah because he was there.
I could see it, but also simultaneously, he's probably well hidden because he hasn't been targeted yet, and we haven't heard another story about somebody dying. So he's either already dead or fucked off.
I tipped Detective Bentley off to Micah's little safe house. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how that pans out.
The bikers are also definitely going to be hunting him.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I don't know how we're gonna get it to come to us.
Yeah,
Well, I have not had too much experience dealing with spirits in the situations. I have dealt with a few ghosts and things, and if you're in the neighborhood of really wanting to piss one off, we go back to where the dude died. We drag Micah out there, and we make some noise to get its attention.
I mean,
that is if we find Micah first and if it's interested.
yeah, you're making some
in-
assumptions.
Oh, apologies. I got my names mixed up. By Micah, I meant Texas.
Mm.
Okay, no, I don't like that idea.
We're going to have
His
to
name-
use one of them as bait no matter what happens. They're going after him anyway.
I already fucking promised the guy to give him creature comforts and shit. I don't feel good about
Yeah,
dragging
and
him
his
out.
friends both shot at you and shot me.
I know, he's a piece of shit, but I already fucking gave my word that I'd help him.
Well, then we can count this as helping him.
Did he
Because
say
if we do
one
this,
of
you
the
don't have to
people
Yeah, I
kidnap
know.
him.
I know what he did.
No, I'm asking if this was before or after you made the promise.
It was after, because he gave us more information that helped us find out who what's the guy's name?
Damien or Micah.
Yeah, helped us. Yeah, but then he gave us more information to figure out who Micah was and where to find him.
It sounds like he may have broken the promise himself. I'm just saying the
No.
onus isn't on you unless you don't
He gave
want it.
us that information after he broke out and we caught him. I went and talked to him and he gave us more.
Yeah, this happened last session when we were here, by the way, Ruben.
Yeah.
I am not using him as bait. As I don't like him, none of us do. I don't like any of these guys. Except for Itzel, she's neat. But she's not a part of them. Finger guns at Itzel.
They're just fine with the others are, just stalk them for a bit.
Say, guys, I have a question.
Huh?
So this thing only attacks once per day, right?
It appears so.
Seems like?
Does it have to wait the full 24 hours?
God, fuck if I know. On the
Gremlins rules.
The
No.
supernatural is
Since it has been over a month, been many weeks, I will remind you that while you were defending Texas at the bar, Mac was being killed in Japantown simultaneously.
Oh
Yep.
God, yeah.
because the Kasha can puppet bodies.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah, did you
It could
share?
be anywhere.
Did the other
at
group
any
share sing soda?
They did not.
I should probably bring up the fact that we saw Soda pretty dead, being piloted by Sandstorm.
What?
Yeah, it's so Hanzo and I had a talk about that a little while ago. It's the fact that the soul of Soda is
He's condemned unless we stop this thing.
yes,
We knew that already.
which means it's there's no body left. It's you can't save him. So the best option is sealing. But if he kills everybody, like Texas and the two bikers,
Hey, we know this.
yeah,
And who did you fend off? The Kasha or Soda?
I fended off the Kasha, it ended up Soda in my hands.
yeah, it shapeshifted at mid-hit transformation. Then I rang the bell, and it promptly collapsed into dust.
Soda may still be out there. There's no guarantee that it's going to rest.
Like, it could start up right after midnight for all we know.
Yes, because to answer your other question, the supernatural is fickle like that. Legends aren't exactly exact about it strikes precisely at this hour.
Lovely.
So we have
Either
to-
way, we will definitely need to locate where the bikers have gone to ground again, and possibly Micah, possibly with the detective's help.
Connor, you hear a whisper. that's not what you heard. Sorry, that was me hiccuping.
It's like, "You okay there?"
Sorry, that got me good.
Didn't know
But
if
no,
I
you
can-
hear a whisper. I DM'd you.
Oh shit.
Continue. Sorry.
So, I mean, we
Mm.
can find the bikers, but then what's the plan from there?
Well, Akasha will be drawn to them.
Yeah.
So you said it's kind of a body thief situation?
Puppets, corpses, yes. Why do you ask?
Just trying to figure this thing out.
Of course, the problem is the bikers are not going to exactly be cooperative with us.
No, and I don't know if, especially with me and Olivia and me and myself, me and Winifred there.
Yeah.
Oh no,
we're-
Olivia's referring to herself in third person.
So,
She's the imposter.
the problem now is that we have to find bikers that might have split up, and we don't really have that option now because we all have to be together to stop this thing, correct?
More or less.
So,
Is there
here's
a way we can get the guy we kidnapped to volunteer to be bait? Like, can we just talk to him and be like, hey, want to be bait so we can catch this thing and kick its ass? I mean, he's a biker. He'll probably be down for that, right?
No.
He's kind of a wiener.
Yeah, he's kind of a wiener, but like, you know,
Would
getting
you,
vengeance on someone trying to fuck you over, that seems like a biker thing.
Fred, would you?
That's a dumb question. Anytime Fred's
Hold
been
on.
alone in
Fred,
situations.
Fred, would you?
If a thing was out to get me and a bunch of people were like, let's roll up and take care of this guy because it's a giant sand skeleton monster that the cops aren't going to deal with because they don't believe that sort of thing exists, I'd kind of feel like, well, you know, if the option's that or wait for it to try and kill me when I'm alone, you know, maybe going with a group is kind of a good idea and we could stomp its ass.
Yeah, I will gladly sit in a chair so long as.
Doesn't even have to sit in a chair. He could put on his leather jacket and have a thing to defend himself with. He's just with us, so that way he's got some defense. And
Oh yeah,
then
sorry,
we've
that
got
was-
him drawing it out.
that was out of
So-
character. I was abused by the mental image of I will gladly sit down as bait for the monster so long as there's like 7 other people around the corner to jump it.
So, the thing we're not taking into consideration is that we may have our ticket for getting the last of the gang members here.
Hmm.
We have Texas. Have Texas call them and be like, hey,
Yeah, they don't
here's
like
the
Texas.
situation. We don't like Texas.
No, the bikers don't like Texas.
The backers don't like Itzel.
They don't like Texas either.
Yes, but he's still one of their members. And right now, they have 3.
You know,
They
I think if I was a
may-
biker, I would still call myself Fred, because this is kind of silly.
Yeah, I'm not dismissing the idea, but that Olivia brings up a good point. They may have written Texas off.
Yeah, us pointing out that we had him saved didn't really seem to fluctuate their opinion one way or the other.
I'm just saying, if anyone's going to be able to go, hey, let's get the biker gang over here so we can take care of the situation. That way we can put this all behind us and forget it ever happened. It's going to be the idiot in the locker room. Because when we go up to it, we get shot.
Might as
Or we
well.
sacrifice them and just wait till it comes for Texas.
Yeah, I mean, like, it can't hurt to try, but I don't know how much stock we should be putting in this.
It's
Okay.
a option.
Yeah, it can't
So
hurt to give it a shot. Oh, wait,
Hanzo.
how is he
or,
going to
well,
reach them?
So as you're talking, someone goes, "Excuse me, sorry to interrupt." And you turn around, and it's just one of the random workers at the place. It is pretty late, so there aren't many people working at the moment. But they go, "Sorry, someone's car. I heard ringing coming from inside."
That would be mine.
Okay.
God, that must be convenient to have a cone in your car.
He doesn't respond because, you know.
So there are cell phones not nowadays, in '92, but they're the big brick ones.
They're the ones you can kill somebody with.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might
The
want
fun
to invest
ones.
in some of those. Not gonna lie.
Oh, yes.
Really fucking expensive.
Weapon
Yeah.
and communication.
I have a good job. It's fine.
Yeah, let me.
All right, he's gonna go check out his car.
Okay. And it's flashing saying that you have a voicemail.
Click.
And you hear the voice of Dr. Guerrero goes, Hanzo, interesting thing about the bone bullet fragments. Just small detail I didn't notice until I was doing a more thorough examination. But it appears that it is not purely bone or osteocrete, if that is indeed what it is. It seems to have been jacketed in, believe it or not, enamel.
What the fuck?
But it seems I'm sending it to someone with a more sophisticated examination equipment, but from what I can tell, it seemed to be grown almost like a tooth is grown. Fascinating stuff.
Ooh.
And he goes, if anything comes of it or I learn anything, I will let you know. Good hunting. And the message ends.
How long has it been since I tipped off the detective? Just like an hour or so.
Yeah, getting close to an hour.
Well, I have not been running around nearly dying all the time, so I'm probably still good to go. I'm just gonna pop my head back inside. Some of you rightly deserve rest, but I'm gonna continue the investigation. Hopefully, I can help the detective pin down Micah. Maybe the bikers if we're lucky.
I can offer a hand. I can offer a hand if you need it as well. I've had a pretty uneventful day.
Same.
I gotta
Alright.
check in the diner periodically, but other than that,
You got fucking shot, so you should rest.
yeah, this isn't the first time I've been shot. I'll be fine.
That does not surprise me in the slightest.
There's a lot of things that probably wouldn't surprise you if you knew the weird shit I've been into.
I mean, she looks at your cassette. I'm starting to imagine.
Don't look at my Walkman like that. What did it do to you?
Well, I mean, so we're not doing anything else tonight for sure. Maybe going. Do you need my help, Hanzo? Like,
I don't believe it'll be necessary now.
hey, Fred,
Yeah.
let's go. I'm gonna get you a drink.
Okay. Well, that was for after we killed the monster, but all right.
I mean, a drink. Honestly, tomorrow might go badly, so let's get it now.
Tomorrow's gonna go fine. We got it all planned out.
You know, hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
All right then.
So,
it will be helpful to have someone here in case someone gets the bright idea to try and run again, however likely that may be.
Itzel is still stationed up, and I mean, if anyone checks on her, she'll admit to getting bored, especially now that Texas is asleep.
Mhm.
But she's like, yeah, she says she's willing to stay behind and keep watch. Although, you realize, it seems that while everyone's been gone, she might have visited the workshop because now there is like a padlock on the outside of the door.
Mm.
Very smart.
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
You're not sure how Lucia or George might react to that, Olivia, but
It's temporary.
for the moment, Texas is
It's a-
secured.
It's a padlock. I don't think they'd be too upset about getting a padlock for this book. Yeah, so I'm gonna take Fred to get a drink.
All right.
Unless you got
How's
something you'd like
everyone
us to
splitting
do.
up? Or unless people want to go to sleep.
That's just I've had plenty of late nights. I won't get us hammered.
Well, yeah, well, I don't drink irresponsibly.
Yeah. It's just, you know. What are you in the mood for, Fred?
I generally get a vodka.
Vodka? Alright, I'll get you a vodka.
Did you say gin and vodka?
I say a vodka, just a like a nice vanilla vodka.
Okay.
Alright.
Those would be popular around this time too.
I'll just get a beer.
Fucking Smirnoff drinker.
Listen, it's not a thing taken from my player, okay? It's an actual character choice.
No,
We're
that's
still a year away from Zima.
Zima?
I remember picking Zima.
Zima?
Mhm.
The fuck's a Zima?
Zima is
Hold
the
on.
first non-alcoholic try at a beer that was non-alcoholic, and it apparently tasted like ass.
Ah,
Be
so
fair,
like,
so
People
does
really liked it.
Yeah. I will, however, as we go, keep an eye out just for anything suspicious, just, you know, because why wouldn't I?
off in the distance. You see a thylacine. It gives you a thumbs up.
Oh, the fucking thylacines killing me!
Oh yeah, that was the Thylacanthrope. Right.
Yeah, it's killing me.
No, it wasn't non-alcoholic.
Not
It was
yet.
just shitty.
Sarah.
Carlos is gonna sit up and like, I'm going to go to the diner. I'm going to go grab the breakfast burger, and I'm going to eat it.
You're making
And
me
then I'm
hungry.
gonna recheck my notes to make sure when I draw the sigils correctly tomorrow to seal this thing into the coyote skull that I'm doing it right.
I mean, you could always go to the diner after the bar.
I mean, God has a point.
But
Look.
anyways,
Look,
I won't buy you a drink, but I'll take you there.
after Missouri, I don't like going to bars unless if I have to.
After Missouri.
All right.
so the Hanzo and Winifred, you were going, and Connor,
I think so.
or what was Connor up to?
I think I'll stay behind, actually. 'Cause he's probably one of the better equipped people just to fuck someone over if they're trying to run.
And
Yeah.
you could keep Tommy company. I haven't heard Tommy speak up of where they're going.
eh?
Yeah, where's Tommy gonna go?
Where are my options again?
I mean,
Get a drink. Go with Carlos to the cafe, to the
to the diner.
diner, or go with Hanzo just to help Hanzo out.
Yeah, Hanzo
he'll
and
help.
Winifred.
Yeah, he'll go with Hanzo and Winifred.
Okay. And then
You sure? I heard you took a bullet.
He's fine.
Yeah.
It's not up to me,
merely
Carlos,
a
to say, but not his mom.
merely a flesh wound.
It technically
So-
was.
Yeah. So you all split up. Connor, you're staying with Itzel. We'll start with Hanzo. Where are you driving everyone? The three of you.
I'm gonna head off in the direction of that fucking warehouse.
Okay. So you start heading off towards the west half of town, and it's I'm pretty sure the Barrett farm was on the west side of town. I can't remember. It's been literally a year since the first mystery. So
God damn.
Yeah.
yeah, we started March last year, and the so you start heading out that way, and the little note said Safe House E. You're not sure what that is, but it's pretty much the only legible thing because the letter looked like it was crumpled up and stashed, and the ink, a lot of the ink was smudged. Like it was a very cheap or just purposely shitty ink.
Mhm.
But you've got a pretty good idea of where to go. But you do see like a few patrol cars, like kind of just you see one like parked on the side of one of the main roads, just maybe like even just speed trap or just keeping an eye out. You do see a few others like just driving around, so it does look like Bentley did get the word out. Because normally there's not this many out this late.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. I think Carlo. Let's see. I think Livia and Fred would probably get to the bar first. So we'll start with them and then switch back to you. That's okay.
Nora, just be right back.
Dang, I have wonderful timing with that. So okay. We'll continue with that then. Driving out, you basically retrace the path you took to the farm, and honestly, that's probably going to be probably the best place to park, because you you remember it being on the edge of where the wilderness was, so it wouldn't be a difficult place to start. And when you pull up to it, the farmhouse still dark, doesn't look like it's. You do see a for sale sign on it. 'Cause it's been a few weeks, so they've had time to clean it up and getting it ready for sale. Actually, no, it wouldn't even have that. It looks like it hasn't been touched. There, you still actually see like some police tape across the door. It's like faded and stuff. So you can just park there and like head back out and remembering. Actually, I think that was the first time Winifred and Tommy teamed up to kill something. It was the chupacabra in the bedroom.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Good times.
So, yeah, you didn't see any cops around this area, even though you did mention the farm. So, you can start hiking, following it.
Okay.
Is there anything you wanted to chat about on the way there, or
Mm-hmm.
prepare for it?
So Hanzo, what exactly should we be looking out for here?
For the bikers, for Micah, for the Kasha, Soda.
What should I do if I get the chance to grab one of the bikers and Nakasha isn't here?
Incapacitate.
Okay. I'm getting, we need to stop the thing before it gets these fuckers, and I kinda am tired of looking at them.
Same.
Yes.
Okay.
So you go hiking into the desert again. Kind of feel a little familiar, and the moon's about 3/4 of the way full. Maybe another 2 before it's completely full, and so there's a good amount of light out. It's not really cloudy or anything. Maybe a few wisps, but there hasn't been any rain in a few weeks, and trying to remember how I described the area around this part last time, but it's not like the super rocky parts of the Chuparosa Mountains, but it is hilly. There are a few taller hills that could probably be called small mountains, but going off the little printout of the map of the area, Hanzo, you're pretty sure you know where to go, and after a bit, you kind of coast up a ridge, and because the moon is out, you're able to look down, and you see what looks to be like a small little. It's actually I'm trying. What's the things that holds up the pylon? It's an energy pylon. You know where they hold the really tall ones that for the power lines that go across the long distances. You see one of those, and built at its base, surrounded by a chain link fence, you see a cluster of like few sheds. It looks like just sheds and stuff. But you do see what looks to be like light on in one of the buildings.
Mm.
And actually, Winifred,
Mm-hmm.
since you've got the super bat vision, you can actually see it does look like tucked into there, like behind one of the things, you see what looks like reflecting in the moonlight the bumper of a car.
Yeah, she's gonna point that out to Hanzo, although he probably can't see it. She's gonna point and say there's a car back there.
I trust your eyesight better than mine.
I don't see any bikes, do I?
Nope, no bikes.
No bikes.
At least not that you can see, unless they're like tucked further back, but you're pretty sure you don't see any.
No bikes that I can
Alright.
see, so...
And you don't hear any either, since being night in the desert, that in the hills, that would carry and you don't hear anything. Besides the typical night creatures like coyotes and crickets.
What's the plan, Hanzo?
Maybe might go in there. Approach quietly and carefully. Probably still armed with the osteocrete.
Yeah, be careful, Tommy. I don't think any of us will get shot with that one. You did come with us, right, Tommy? I'm not hallucinating?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. My dad just called me.
Oh, that's got to be revolutionary for you, Tommy.
Ha.
Why?
Wow.
Whoa.
My
What do you
father's
know about
dead,
his
you
dad
fuck.
that we don't?
Jesus, no, really? That's got to be a really novel experience then.
What the
God.
fuck, TT?
Do I need to put you in containment?
GT is feeling spicy tonight.
Yeah.
Into the soup.
Like Tommy's dad.
So, what are the three of you gonna do? Because you see this in distance about maybe a mile and a half away.
We approach carefully.
Probably closer to an hour. It's not an hour, a mile away.
Mhm. Yeah, careful approaching.
Okay, so all the three of you start to sneak ahead. Sorry, were you gonna say something, Sketha?
No, it was just Winifred grumbling in agreement.
Okay. So while the three of you start approaching a little more stealthily, we'll go back to Olivia and Fred.
That's sweet. Hey, Fred.
Yeah?
You know that epiphany stuff we're trying to get?
Yeah, vaguely.
Do you have any idea what it does?
I do not touch drugs.
I mean, neither do I. Well,
A guy offered me reefer once at a party, and I said, no, sir, no reefer for me.
Like, that's just like that shit's harmless, right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to do it.
That's fair.
Didn't smoke.
Hey,
Never
it
took the
depends on how much you
reefer.
wanna consume.
Didn't do cocaine when my wife offered it to me. I only indulge a little bit in alcohol,
Wait,
and that's mostly socially.
your wife offered you cocaine?
Well, she's a high-powered businesswoman. They all do it.
Oh,
It is 1992.
yeah.
Something called
It's just like a
Quaaludes.
beat. You ever thought of like getting back out there, Fred?
I suppose a couple of times, but I don't know. I think that part of my life's kind of run its course.
You think so?
I got a lot of other things to sort out, and I got my kids. That's a lot of baggage. I mean, I don't got my kids. It's very, very occasional custody, but still, they're in my life.
No.
I want to keep them in my life, and that that matters more. I gotta shape up into a dad they can be proud of.
Hey, you saved a woman's life today. That's something to be proud of.
Yeah, but it was in like a fantastical circumstance. You tell that to a kid, they're just gonna think you're making it up to try and be cool when you're still living in like a flea trap motel or whatever.
That's fair.
Like, oh, hey, your father's fighting monsters now. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, Dad, thanks.
I mean, hey, your coworker is someone who deals with like things resurrected from the dead. So like
Those are normal things like chalupa cabras and whatever. Just
Yeah,
everyday animals.
That's still some cred, to give to to show to your kids if you need to.
I mean, I'm a security guard, which is to say, like, a guy who sits on his ass and watches cameras and walks hallways.
And for a
Calls the cops when
Right.
something really big happens. I got no pretensions. I got no delusions about, my station and things.
Yeah,
But, you gotta start somewhere. You gotta build.
and you take pride in what you got and what you've done.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, you have saved several people's lives, not just that woman today. And she like hands you your vodka.
Yeah.
Gee, I don't know if I'd like to start dating, but I'd have to find someone first.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes.
Yeah, and to be fair, I spend most of I don't exactly got a ton of free time between work and hobbies.
Yeah, I feel like Zookeeper's gotta be marketable in the dating scene.
I guess.
People like ants.
Right? Like, oh god, when was the last time I was on a date? A couple years ago now.
You can probably get them discounts
Discounts where?
to a zoo.
Okay, I'm not a zookeeper exactly.
Or the
I
exhibits. You can show them the shit that people don't normally see.
Yeah, probably.
That's
like-
that's like some swag.
Be fair, but like that's something that you save for a couple dates in,
I mean, depends on how big of an impression you want to make, you know.
That's a good point.
If you're like this one's a Vava Voom, it's a regular Pamela Anderson. You know, you want to take him right out there, you know.
Yeah. You have a point, Fred. You know. Yeah, you got a point there.
So I assume this is all while you're having your drinks at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fred notably
Which-
also orders a glass of water, which he is taking sips of in between taking sips of his vodka, because he is a responsible drinker.
And it is. Do you want to know the name of the bar?
Yeah.
The Dry Spider.
Oh, love it.
The side is like a cartoon spider, drunk, sitting at a bar, holding up an empty shot glass.
Oh, I love it.
Imagine how
It's
many
not
drinks a
far
spider
from
could
the-
pound.
It's like the only thing worse is the spider gunslinger. 7 guns, 1 leg.
You eat
I'm
anything
glad
today,
you-
Fred?
I'm glad you remember 7 guns.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the voices talking. What?
That's just noise in the bar. You had anything to eat today?
You know, honestly, that's a good question, and I can't say whether or not I have.
Okay, then after the drinks, you want to get something nice and greasy?
Yeah, you know, we could get some mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
Cheese curds. One of the bar patrons shouts.
I
You don't
I
serve food. You hear the barkeep say.
for a minute I was gonna say I don't eat curds, but I remember that Fred canonically has eaten the curds, and it's William who doesn't like the idea of eating something called a curd.
I'll be honest. That's what kept me from trying it out until like recent years.
They're good.
Hey, let's see. You know, Fred, you're a pretty fun guy to hang out with. Not gonna lie.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you got some stuff you worked through, and that's fair. But like, you're
Yeah.
a pretty fun guy to hang with.
Yeah, and you're a pretty fun person to trick into carrying a cinder block.
I can't believe you fucking did that, you asshole.
Can't believe you fell for it.
Well, hey,
You seem sharp.
I get to
You
show
seem
you
sharp enough to
wrestling
not
later.
do that.
I get to show you wrestling later. So who wins?
Me, I got you to carry a cinder block.
Yeah, but I get to fucking I get to show you wrestling.
Are you implying that showing me wrestling is some sort of prank?
No, it's something I like, and I want to share it with you.
So I think I won here.
Did you though?
I mean, if you think I'm gonna like wrestling, then yes, I'm pretty sure this was a win-win for me.
Yeah, but the cinder block wasn't that heavy.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I was carrying it.
Yeah, so imagine how much easier it was for me.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making here.
Yeah. Drink your vodka.
Imagine if the cinder block is just looking in on this from the window. Or
Scared its eye.
mhm.
Yeah. All right, yeah. You got me, Fred. You got me.
Yeah.
I think you'll really enjoy the luchador stuff. There's like a pageantry to it that isn't in. All wrestling has some kind of, over the top.
Wait, are you specifically showing me like a Mexican wrestling?
Kind of, sort of like luchador is Mexican wrestling, but like it's branched out from there. Yeah. There were these masks. They make personas, which that's not out of the ordinary for wrestling, but it has more meaning there.
Well, I guess I'll figure out what I think when I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know how hard it has been not to make jokes about? Oh yeah, Olivia first got into luchador wrestling because she found an old tape that disintegrate after the first watch, but it was about this luchador superhero from. It was this tragic episode of his death.
Hey, Olivia, kind of weird question out of the blue here, but what do you think about eating frogs?
Okay, we're really crossing the stream
Yeah, we are.
I mentioned it during last night's
favorite
game
restaurant
too,
in the
so I felt compelled.
It sounds weird. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah,
I'd
it
give
sounds
a shot
French.
at least. Huh?
It sounds French.
It is, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the French do that.
Cut to a scene of Winifred just scooping up a toad off the floor of the desert and stuffing it in her mouth. With absolutely no commentary. Continue
Tommy,
I mean,
you gonna finish that?
it's a little too dry for that, but once it rains, oh yeah, they'd be popping out of the mud. It's just, I wonder if a vampire would just think a cane toad with all its poison would be spicy.
Spicy blood.
Spices.
Herbs and
Just
spices.
like capsaicin. Frog venom or frog toxin is like capsaicin for vampires. I wasn't expecting this.
After our drinks, we'll go grab something nice and great greasy to eat. To make sure we don't have, nothing in our stomach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I get some of these pizza puffs?
So, you continue to enjoy your drinks and prepare to, head over to Carlos's place. Carlos, is
Hello.
there anything you wanted to do specifically, or you said you were going to check in and?
Also, just checking in with the folks at the diner and reading over the notes we've taken, Winnie and I, just to make sure that everything's straight.
She will bite you.
Who's going to bite who? What?
Winifred will
my.
bite you.
I might.
Oh my.
Called her Winnie.
No.
again.
Now, Eddie is said by Carlos, Winnie is Gray, because Gray knows Winnie can't bite him.
Say that. Don't
When you
tempt her.
check in, it's the night shift, which is going to make up random names because they only have the day shift plan. But this is Ramon, your chef, and I think Sierra is the woman who's the waitress during the night shift. Usually, it's just the two of them working.
Yes.
And they kind of nod and wave. There's a few scattered customers, which is typical of this. Like, there's always someone. And there's a few vampires, actually. Probably most of them would be vampires here, because since you do offer True Blood, and it's a less tacky place than the Bad Moon Diner.
It is a different kind of tacky that isn't like, oh, I am darkness, so I am the night. It is 11 o'clock at night. This is a diner. Here's your food. That's about the gist we're giving you. Welcome to the equivalent of a 1990s Denny's.
I'm gonna fight you in the parking lot.
You would.
That's what a Denny's is
So-
for.
So, if you check in with them, they say it's been an uneventful night.
Mhm.
Just typical.
That's good. I'm gonna be in the corner booth doing some reading. He
Your
is.
thing, best.
He is like not. He's clearly like not trying to hide the arm, but it's trying not to draw too much attention to it as he clambers over to the booth, takes a breather, And he's just like, man, it feels like I've just been running in circles. Let's He cracks open a magic tome, the smallest of the three from last time, and is just casually reading.
Okay. And was there any? Sorry if I missed it if you said it just now, but was there any thing you were working specifically towards, or just refreshing up on?
Okay. So I am taking the time to do extra research, as the ritual to cast it, I believe, is a big magic move to seal
Yeah.
it. So I am
Mhm.
doing some more studying to familiarize myself with it so that when it comes time to do the proper sealing, I am more prepared.
Okay. So I just want you to roll a weird.
I can do that. Give me 1 second. I accidentally went to go click on the thing to roll the dice, and I closed the thing to roll the dice.
Whoops.
It happens. I got a 9.
9? Okay. So yeah, you start going through it and making mental notes or even physical notes if you wanted about refining it a bit. Winifred did really help out when to establish it, but you know, like everything, magic can always be refined a little bit further.
Yep. Taking those extra little steps and figuring it out.
Especially when it's a delicate operation, you can never be too prepared.
Yes. The other thing that Carlos is kind of doing is to see if the bikers roll up here. Because sometimes they come here when they're done at the biker bars. And it's like a very slim to none chance. But like if he's going to have to stake out somewhere, it might as well be somewhere where he's at least comfortable with the seating.
Hmm. So, okay. So you're getting into that. Connor, was there anything you wanted to do, like interrogate Texas or speak to Itzel, or are you good just... I don't want to keep excluding Connor from stuff. He's just kind of
No,
feels...
I keep picking the wrong places. It's fine.
Oh, no, it's...
No, it's fine. No, you just be chilling.
Okay.
He's keeping an eye out, probably napping now and again.
Okay.
And, if that door is jiggling, he's got several very horrible plans for Texas. Not just because he has a shitty nickname.
Okay. Yeah, Itzel, she would have, like, done a little bit of small talk, but she's... With you sitting there, she's like, all right, I'm actually going to go stretch my legs a bit. You good keeping an eye on him?
Yeah, go knock yourself out.
Okay. And she goes off, and so it's just you in this little room outside the panic room where Texas is being kept.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's probably just reading a book, humming to himself.
yeah. This kind of place, there's probably plenty of like nature books, and honestly, with the nerds that would work here, there's definitely like stacks of National Geographic somewhere that you could pick up. Actually, there's probably a few that Itzel was probably leafing through.
Mm-hmm. That's perfectly fine.
So, okay, so I think we'll get back to the trio in the desert, since everyone is in motion and they're doing their own thing. So, you've been trekking through the brush and scrubland of the desert, and thankfully, because of the tall power line pylon, you know exactly where to go. It's no real risk of getting lost. There's even a red light glowing on top of it, just in case for low flying planes. And you get closer, and eventually you do come across what it looks to be like the service road, just dirt road, And it's only, you can tell that it's a road because there's no plants growing on it. And sorry, yeah, I actually did consider before I picked a spider gunslinger because of that picture. The artificer. But anyways, getting closer, you see that there's like 3 little buildings, 2 smaller sheds that look like maybe just like breaker boxes, and a larger building that has the window with the light side and and that's where you saw the car parked behind it. Winifred. So.
All right, we do this like last time. We're going through. One checks the front door, one checks the back.
Oh, it is also surrounded by a chain link fence around the entirety of the area, just because you don't want people riding up and messing with power lines like this, and suddenly half the town is just dark.
Nothing we haven't dealt with before.
The town like 80 miles away is suddenly dark.
Nothing we haven't dealt with before. I'm sure you can pry that open.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think. I can't remember. Was it Tommy? No, Carlos. Was it Carlos who had lockpicking experience, or was it Tommy?
I think it was both.
She's just super strong.
Yeah, I know Winifred can just break it, but I think I remember someone saying they had lockpicking, but I can't. Anyways, approaching. Let's see. So, how are you approaching? Because there is just that one gate in and out of the chain link fence.
We don't want to approach from the front, or at least where the window can see. We don't want to spook them.
Yeah, the window is facing the gate.
You think you can open a hole in this fence and we circle the place?
I can do my best.
I mean, did Tommy keep the bolt cutters?
Probably.
Say he gave them back.
Yeah.
You did.
Just
rush
reaches
out of
into
there.
his knapsack, pulls out the bolt cutters.
Carlos did not ask him back, so.
Just for believability, it's probably not the full size head shear or hedge clippers size, but the smaller
Hand clippers.
Handheld. Yeah.
They'll do.
It'll take a little longer, but
All right. Snip, snip.
Okay. I want whoever is using it to do a tough check to power through these.
Oh, come on.
No, I mean it can be any one of you 3, or honestly, Winifred, if you wanted, you could use your weird, because that's how your strength works.
Yeah, would you like me to do that instead, Tommy?
I got 10, so it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's plenty good. Winifred, you start asking that, but then you realize Tommy is actually it took him a second to find a group, but then just snip, snip, snip. You have to pause a second, to make sure you weren't heard when you hear something clinking inside. It sounded maybe like a plate or something, and then you continue going, and soon enough, you cut a slit into it that you can pull it aside, and maybe you can slip inside. Although Winifred, you could just fly over if you really wanted.
Yeah, probably just jump.
it's a bit conspicuous.
She's
Just
gonna
chuck the armadillo over the fence.
She's gonna give Tommy a look and go, "You've done this before, haven't you?"
Tommy is not going to comment and just keep walking.
Nice.
Yeah, before we proceed, actually, that's a good question. How big is Winifred's armadillo form?
Just a little bigger than a normal armadillo, just by maybe.
Are we talking about the ones that are size of dogs?
What are the ones that are actually in Arizona? don't think they're that big.
Well, that's the thing. It's unless they are like accidental. There's not really a native armadillo in Arizona. They're more of a New Mexico and Texas thing, and southern Mexico.
Also,
But
the fucking giant armadillo is interesting.
It could be a native armadillo if it's fucking lost.
oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Wait, I could just see that there's a native armadillo. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It just all
like cat size, let's say.
okay, that's feasible for what I think.
Yeah, so mine would be.
If
Like
If
the
we ever need to
size-
sneak a vampire into a place, we could just keep Winifred in our coat.
Mine would probably be just a tiny bit bigger than normal cat size. It would probably be like Maine Coon size rather than normal.
Oh dang!
See,
that's a big one.
all I could think of was the hairy screaming armadillo, the one that fit in your palm. And just someone opens up their coat, reaches inside, pulls it out,
Just a screaming grenade in somebody's face.
Pocket
just
vampire.
pulls out a screaming orb that then turns into a vampire.
Pocket armadillo.
Somewhere out there is the hairy screaming armadillo vampire.
You know what'd be really crazy? You slip that into a sock, so you have an orb in a sock that's screaming while you swing around and bash people in the face with it.
Jesus Christ.
Why do I feel like that would be if Tommy ever got bitten or turned into a vampire, that would be the armadillo form.
Yep. That's the one I was picturing when I picked the form of the armadillo because it was the one in the Dracula movie, which is the joke I'm going for.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Let's try to circle the place.
I don't
Cover every
have-
exit.
I don't have the time to come up with the proper scientific name, but somehow their scientific name for this type involves Dracula for that reason. So, you slip inside. Slip inside. Slip inside. I don't know where out yet, but let's not get distracted on that. Well, how do you want to proceed? Because it's a four-sided rectangular building. There's a window, it seems, on each side, and the way you came up was the backside of where the one door would be. So you came up on the backside of the long side. If I'm making any sense.
So there's one door. We're on the opposite side of the building, and then there's two windows on each other side.
All right.
One on each side. So there's 4 windows total, it seems. You haven't seen like the side closest to the car, but you see one on the back where you're at, one that was facing the gate, and then one next to the door on the other side.
I have a suggestion.
Theater of Mind stuff gets a little tricky like this sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a suggestion.
What is it?
All right.
You two take the windows and I take the door because you two are taller than I am.
Fair enough.
All right, which door?
Wait,
Window.
isn't Winifred kind of short?
Winifred is actually not very tall. No.
Taller than Tommy, though.
Winifred is 5'4".
And Tommy is a gremlin.
Mm-hmm.
See, it wouldn't work, but you know, it'd be super fucked up
What?
if it was Winifred who knocked on the door and immediately turned into an armadillo. So he opens the door, there's just an armadillo there.
Hanzo doesn't even know that I can change into things yet. He's never seen it.
Exactly.
Yeah, only Olivia knows the thing.
I
think it's
kind of
only
want that to
Olivia.
happen now.
That would
Not gonna
be
lie.
hilarious.
Do you want to proceed with the armadillo load
I have
fake armadillo plan?
I have an idea. It's very stupid, but
Go on.
Do it.
it might have somebody come to the door and you two could grab them from the side. As long as you don't freak out.
Okay.
Alright.
She's gonna scoot under the windows, like crab walk underneath them so they can't see her from the outside, like press right up against the building, and go motion for you guys to follow her and flank the door.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
she's going to get to the door, knock on it, like really hard couple knocks until she hears somebody coming.
We are doing this.
Yeah.
This is your plan?
Yes, it is. It brings me joy.
I'm just grumbling enough to go along with it.
Look, if one has the opportunity, why not seize it?
Yeah.
Where else
So-
can you pull a fake armadillo knocking on your door get trick? Works every time.
Is it?
So, okay, so Tommy and Hanzo, you flank the door with Winifred standing there, and she pounds on the door, and sure enough, there's like, you hear inside a voice go, "Oh fuck," and then like a clattering, and then there's a pause before you do hear someone stepping up to the door, and there is like a glass pane on the door.
You suddenly watch as Winifred disappears from her spot. Like it doesn't look like she's transformed, it just looks like there's suddenly an armadillo.
Hanzo looks down.
Interesting.
And you see someone, man, wearing glasses with a brown goatee, kind of pop his head in the window, and then, not seeing anything, slowly crack open the door and peek out, kind of looking around, and then his eyes drop down, sees an armadillo staring up at him, and then, like, slowly opens the door and goes, and then starts looking like, it's like,
She's like,
knock?
rolled into a ball, and she's like just rolling into the wall, like she's doing it on accident.
And, I don't know if I should have you roll because this is hilarious. Because
Roll
it's
to
just like-
deceive.
I'll roll whatever you want me to roll, because this is funny.
Manipulate someone.
I mean, this is enough that he's just like, the door slowly opens as he's just watching this armadillo, and he goes, "I didn't know there were any around this area." As he's just kind of watching it, and now just like fascination at this ferret ball
She's gonna
bouncing around armadillo.
roll, so she rolls into the doorway to see if she'll follow her with his eyes and take his eyes off the doorway so they can get him.
He's still standing in the doorway. It's like partially, it's like not fully open. He's kind of standing behind it, but as you start rolling in, he's like, oh, and he like starts to put his foot out because he's not sure if he wants to let an armadillo into the place he's staying, because it's like, how do you get one out?
Rabies. Or vampirism.
It's like, okay, little dude, no. He's like trying to cautiously like boot you back out without harming you. It's just like,
She
Important
rolls.
question. Does he have the gun?
I don't see anything in his hands. He's like, now that it's happening more, you see him open he opens the door further, and like you actually see both hands are empty, but he's just like trying to almost like comically soccer.
Just gently
Make
nudge
sure
it
this
away with her
armadillo's not-
foot.
Yeah, it's just like, no.
She'll go
When he
with it.
bends down to shoo off the armadillo trying to enter, he looks back up to see a fucking gun to his head.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He's like,
Oh,
Oh.
hello, doctor.
The armadillo rolls around the corner.
And just for safety measures, Tommy just grabs onto his leg.
Hello,
He
Dr.
kinda,
Porter.
like, he grimaces when you say his name, and he's just like, Felix didn't send you, did he?
No. How about we step inside for a little chat?
You would manipulate someone, but you do have the version of advantage, where you can roll
Sure,
3
use
and
that.
take the higher 2 rolls.
All right.
I can't believe that worked.
That's a 10.
Okay. And he's just like, yep, sounds good. As he, like, cautiously lifts his hands up, puts his, just like hands up, just like kind of looking at the gun nervously as he backs up into the building.
Tommy hanging off his leg all the while.
Like a
God.
really clingy nephew.
Oh, and he's like trying to drag his leg, and he's just like, "Did you call him off?"
I'm afraid not. He's not house trained.
And he does his best to drag you in, and just kind of. And inside this small, it's not very large. There's like, you see a cot in one side, in one corner. You see what looks to be like a desk, maybe looks to be just like an old desk that was in here, and but on top of it there's like a hot plate with like a small saucepan and like open can of like empty cans of like soup next to it. Seems that he was making himself some dinner or something, and just looks like a pretty empty building. There's like some filing cabinets.
It's a pretty
off to the
bare bone
side.
shelter.
Yeah. This was, it doesn't look like it was to really protect, more to keep someone hidden.
He will gesture to the cot to sit down.
And if permitted, he will go to sit.
Yeah, and Tommy will let go of his leg and go to the other door to let Winifred in.
No, there's only one door, but
Yeah.
Winifred,
And
you're gonna see suddenly a very large coyote with Winifred's colored eyes looking directly at you from the doorway when you open it.
Mhm.
And then she'll just nod at you and go like do a perimeter check while you guys are doing this.
So, Dr. Porter.
all right. Yes. And he's
Hanzo's going
like
to
avoiding her eyesight.
Hanzo's going to lean against something with a clear line of sight. I hope you know just how deep in the shit you are.
And when you say that, he kind of looks up at you and he goes, "You're one of Dara's, aren't you?"
Yes, but I'm not strictly here on pluripotent's interests.
Kind of squints at that.
You do realize there's a lot more to what's going on than just running from the law.
Well, there's been some anomalous weather that's been happening and some strange deaths, but I don't know what you mean.
Oh, so you
Don't know 100% what you mean.
So you don't know. Well, confirm for me first. You were there when the children were gunned down, right?
he grimaces at that and goes, I tried to stop that. I didn't want them to die. I wanted them to work with me, not die.
I imagine so. Killing children is bad for business. Tends to draw the wrong attention. But, do you believe in fate? What goes around comes around.
Kind of hesitates, glances at your gun and Tommy. And it's just, you could probably make an argument for it.
Yeah. Someone wants you dead, and it's no one in this room.
Well, I know those bikers are after me, but they basically want to turn me into their little living drug slave. And that came out way worse than I thought it sounded. We could have 1,000-yard stairs for a second, because that's also the DM going, oh, that came out bad.
Oh.
But not inaccurate.
It was like, oh, I found your apartment where you bugged out. That's a good question to ask. Do you have any more of the epiphany?
No. Be stupid to keep it on me. If I'm found, I'm busted.
All right. I'm going to trust you're telling me the truth, because I'm going to tell you the truth. It's not the bikers you have to worry about either, because they're on the same shit list. I said before, someone wants you dead. Does the name Soto Karada ring any bells?
When you say that, he does, like, the frown deepens, and he actually does look like, oh god, damn it, TT. The frown deepens, and he goes, the young man was a promising young chemist, and I was hoping to that maybe I could have helped encourage that pursuit, but he got gunned down, I heard. Oh my god, the puppies.
Hear the sad song of their people.
That's just Winifred outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're upset because Grandpa's in having dinner while they're stuck outside and they can't come in for dinner time.
Oh, how horrible. However, will they survive?
They will
I
die.
know. They certainly act like they are.
That's the obligation of every little spoiled little beastie to go, woe is me.
So, anyways, sorry about that distraction.
Oh no. Breaks up the tension of me interrogating this man on gunpoint. It's like, yes, he was a young man, and I'm sure he had a promising future ahead of him. And right now, he's a dead man. That dead man wants your head.
He kind of squints at that incredulously, goes, you're gonna have to be a little more clear on that.
The anomalous weather, string of murders, all that to start happening right after you gunned down those kids in the middle of seemingly nowhere. That's just coincidence, right?
No, I did not want that to happen. I tried to stop them, but they shoved me aside and shot him anyways.
I know.
They were
But,
smart kids. I tried to give them an opportunity they wouldn't have had.
yes, and you certainly roped them with the promise of riches and potential, I'm sure. Except now they're not going to be dreaming of anything.
Look, And he scowls and looks away.
So, to elaborate a little bit more, do you believe in ghosts?
You're telling me there's a Soda's dead and enacting revenge for his death?
More or less. He, or rather the thing puppeting him, has been knocking off the Hell's Coyotes one by one.
He does spit at the ground between his feet. He goes, "I'm not sad about that. They deserve it, every one of them."
I'm not going to weep over the murders of children, but I hope you have considered now the possibility of, when they're all gone, that he's going to come after you.
He doesn't know I was involved, though.
Weren't you there at the deal?
They came with me. We arrived together. We were going to make a deal with the bikers. Ginger. I met Ginger a few months ago. We got talking. We got the idea that if we could produce it on a good enough scale, we could have them sell it. And they said they wanted to meet the crew, and then all of a sudden they just opened fire. I tried to grab one of them and stop it, and I thought I
With
saw Soda run off, and I hoped he survived, but
yes, you did try to stop it, and with an experimental weapon, I do believe.
he falls silent at that.
I'd like to know where that is, just to be safe.
It's nowhere anybody can find it.
It's nowhere you're willing to tell me right now. That's fine. We'll come back to that. Nonetheless, do you think a spirit of vengeance is going to be in their right mind?
Oops.
Do you honestly think yourself above retribution? That child placed his trust in you. That got him killed, along with his friends. It's a good thing we found you before he did.
Mhm.
Because otherwise you would not have the dignity of this conversation or the chance to do something right.
Say, Hanzo, sorry to interrupt real quick, but I'm smelling something. Something chemically.
Hanzo, you don't really detect anything, but this place is like really the only thing you can smell is honestly what the guy was cooking for dinner.
Hmm. What kind of chemical are you smelling?
I think it was like the one in that empty vial. Or that broken vial.
You know, come to think of it, Epiphany has a very particular aroma.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's coming from the one of those filing cabinets over there.
Yeah. When Tommy mentions that, Hanzo, you realize that he's been trying very hard not to look in that direction this whole conversation.
Tommy, could you be a good sport and indulge your curiosity?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And sure enough, when you rattle around the bottom drawer of one of the filing cabinets is stuck, but you get the idea. It's like, oh, you pull out the drawer above it and it comes out, and you can just reach down inside and pull out what is a small, basically like a small drink cooler.
I wonder what's in here. Tommy
And
opens
you
it.
pop it open, and there's a sandwich.
Sandwich.
But you move it aside, and there is a container, and inside of this clear plastic container, like a box, and inside it you see stacked up about 12 vials of that same lavenderish purple liquid.
Tommy takes it over to Hanzo.
Hmm.
And not
Wait.
only adding to his crimes, he's wasting food too.
Well, the sandwich is wrapped up all nice, actually.
Oh.
It looks like he was saving it.
Oh,
It's
in
just
that case,
he just had
Tommy,
only the one cooler.
Tommy's gonna eat his sandwich.
like right in front of him.
Yeah, it's a decent enough sandwich. You get the feeling that maybe he hastily made that when he bugged out.
Oh, what
How's
now?
the taste?
Hastily made.
Now, if memory serves, it's a minimum of 10 years jail time for just one shot of Epiphany. How many you got there, Tommy?
12.
12. 12 vials, each of them about 10 years, and let's stack on the murders and all the other illegal shit you've been up to, and and let's not forget the literal demon that's out for your soul. I'm going to make this
Hey,
real easy for you. Go on.
no good.
I'm going to make this real easy for you. You're going to comply. You're going to tell me literally everything you know without leaving a single detail out. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be looking forward to a life sentence instead of burning in the fiery pits of hell.
Think will gives like a very deep sigh and just kind of puts his face in his hands and just is silent as he seems to be in thought. And we'll pick up with his answer next session. But since we're almost at time, I have an ending in mind.
Okay.
The camera cuts
Con-
too.
Connor,
Mm-hmm.
you've been sitting there just leafing through a National Geographic or whatever, just kind of bored. Wait, just that's one of the things. It's like being security or a guard is, but most of it's just being bored waiting.
Leafing
And
through an old story of Ranger Raccoon.
yeah, and there's a few moments, or eventually you like wipe away some sweat, and then again, and you're just like, but you start realizing you start feeling kind of uncomfortable, and then it's just like,
Oh no.
oh what, and you just start realizing it's like someone cranked up the heat in this room, but you realize that Texas is still
Oh.
sleeping soundly, and you just start feeling warm, and then it's like as you start to feel feverish, it's despite your affliction, this is a new kind of an unfamiliar feeling to actually feel the effect of a fever, and you start getting dizzy, and you try to stand up, but then you like collapse back, and it's almost like your vision shifts, and you're out in the middle of the desert. The sand is whipping around you, and all you can see is like the moonlight barely piercing through the, not piercing, but like glowing through the dust storm. And eventually you like stumble forward a few feet, and then it's like you're stepping into the eye of a hurricane or a storm, as it just falls calm around you. But you still see the sand spinning around you as you realize you're just in the middle of the desert. And you look as you see standing there this tall humanoid, but yet still feline mutation of bone and flame standing there. But you see in this hollow of its torso, you see the burnt and but still living spirit, and Soda reach out from between the ribs and goes, "Please help me! It burns!" And but the cautious hand pushes it back into its body as you just see these bone twist into a grin of fire, and it goes, "You would understand what it's like. Don't interfere." And you just suddenly wake up drenched in sweat as Itzel's kind of shaking your shoulder. She's like, "You okay?" And then that's where we cut off.
Whoa.